turn this computer around so you can see the field. And Warren's just coming right now, so we'll get that hooked up soon. But I'm going to just start my okay. Testing, testing.
Tires of Evanston presents Rich High School Rebel Football on KADQ-FM 98.3 with video online at KADQradio.com. Today's game is brought to you by these Rebel supporting businesses and individuals. Cowboy Motor Company, save a horse, buy from Cowboy. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Castle Rock Chevrolet, we are Chevrolet. Wyoming Dental Specialties, Rocky Mountain Care, simply the best care. And Union Wireless, treating you like a neighbor, not a number. Today's pregame coaches show is brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. Game day predictions for today's matchup are brought to you by Gary McKee and Bear Lake Realty in Garden City. Kickoffs today are brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. First downs in today's games are brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Today's turnover sponsor is the station in Randolph, and your scoreboard sponsor for today's broadcast is Western Ag Credit. Now it's time for a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on KADQ-FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com.
Good afternoon and welcome to Rich High School, the home of the Rebels. And this afternoon here at Rich High School football field, the Rebels hosting the Diamond Ranch Academy Diamondbacks in a final regular season game. And welcome to the pregame show. Today, again, the Rebels taking on the Diamondbacks. Kickoff is scheduled for about 35 minutes from now. And in the meantime, we have our pregame show. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ-FM 98.3 and watch online at KADQradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy Way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Welcome back to the pregame show, and we're looking ahead at today's matchup. This is Ryan Steinekert here at Rich High School, and if you're looking online at KADQradio.com, you see our webcam there. We are just getting the finishing touches set up on our video stream, and we'll have the camera set up here in just a moment to see the field. Rich Rebels out there on the field warming up right now. Diamond Ranch players were out here earlier warming up, and as we look at today's game, of course, we're sitting in the press box at Rich High School, looks on the east or the west side of the field, looking east. The big mountains there behind, or to the far out away from us on that far east side of the valley. And Rebels today hosting the Diamond Ranch Academy Diamondbacks. And Rebels coming off a victory last week over the Altamont Longhorns, a game the Rebels dominated, especially in the first half. They led 35-7 at halftime. Cash Saby had 2 touchdown runs in the game, just 6 carries, but 116 yards on the ground. And then Joseph Leifson added a couple of touchdowns. Ben Grohl scored a touchdown as well. And the Rebels just rolled in the first half and then just cruised from there. Second half, they didn't have to do a whole lot. Scored just 1 touchdown and still won 41-14. With that victory, the Rebels improved their overall record this year to 6-2 this season. And those two losses, of course, the first one was against Westside early in the year, and then a couple of weeks ago, lost at Duchesne 20-19. And Rebels looking good this season. Coach Brown is happy with how they're playing, especially at this point in the season. Rebels are going to go in as the number 2 seed from the 1A North region, and not quite where they wanted to be. They would have liked to beat Duchesne a couple of weeks ago and get that number 1 seed, but it might not make much of a difference in the South Division. In the South, the 1A South, it's Kanab, Diamond Ranch, and Monticello, and Kanab is the number 1 right now, but they play Monticello tonight. And if Monticello should win that, there would be a 3-way tie for first place, and they would flip a coin to see who gets that first place seed. So Diamond Ranch is hoping for maybe a Monticello victory, because that would give Diamond Ranch the possibility of coming in first place if they could get that coin toss. As for the Diamond Ranch Academy, they come into today's game at 4-4 overall. They lost a couple early on. They lost to Enterprise to start the season. They lost to Parowan in the second game of the season, but then they got some wins. Win over Whitehorse. They got a win over Monument Valley and Snow Canyon JV. Last few weeks, it's been up and down. Win-loss, win-loss. They lost at Kanab last week. They beat Monticello in overtime. They lost to Duchesne the week before that, and then they beat Altamont. So those 3 or 4 games that we can compare, Rich and Diamond Ranch, were fairly similar scores. They beat Altamont 21-0. Again, Rich beat Altamont last week 41-14. So if you look at that, they went to overtime with Monticello and got the victory. Rich had a real tough one here at Rich High School against Monticello and got the win, a come-from-behind victory in the closing seconds. Rich a little more competitive against Duchesne, and Rich a dominant victory over Kanab. And we'll talk with Coach Robbie Dias a little bit later on in our pregame, and Coach Dias says he did not like the way his guys played last week against Kanab, at Kanab, but he really liked the way they played against Monticello and Altamont. So we'll have to see what Diamond Ranch team comes out to play today and see how things work out. So that's setting the scene here for today's matchup. Not a region game. It is a classification game. Both teams would love to get that victory, and it's really more of a mental advantage and for the Rebels to try and keep that winning going. They won last week, and they would like to just keep on that winning track. So that's the scene set for today as the Rebels take on the Diamond Ranch Academy Diamondbacks, and this has been the scene set. We're about 30 minutes away from the opening kickoff between the Rebels and the Diamond Ranch Diamondbacks. Coming up, we'll check with students and community members about their predictions for today's game. We'll be right back on the pregame show with our Rebel Game Day predictions. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watch online at KADQradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Find out how Chevy trucks stack up against all of the other major brand name trucks in their class. Confirm what you know or surprise yourself. Just log on to CastleRockChevy.com. Right now you can drive any new Chevy truck off the lot for just 1% over factory invoice OAC, and ask about other rebates and offers that apply.
We're Castle Rock.
Like us on Facebook, Castle Rock Chevy in Evanston, CastleRockChevy.com.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com. And we spent some time in Rich County and at the Rich schools this last week talking with Rich fans about their predictions for today's game. On this segment of the pregame show, we'll hear the fans give their Rebel game day predictions. These predictions are brought to you by Bear Lake Realty in Garden City. Gary McKee. We'll be back with those predictions in just a moment. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
Come see why the Bear Lake Valley has become one of the hottest real estate markets in Utah. The Reserve, Bear Lake's finest resort, is a masterfully planned recreation community nestled in the beautiful Bear Lake Valley. Luxurious mountain getaways overlooking the turquoise waters of Bear Lake. With lowering interest rates, it's a great time to buy. To find out how to make the Bear Lake Valley your next home or vacation getaway, contact BearLakeRealty.com. That's BearLakeRealty.com.
This is Ellen, and I think we're going to win.
It's Coach Stewart. Yeah, we're going to win.
This is Millie, and we're going to win. This is Emily, and we're going to win. This is Christina, and we're going to win. This is Ashley, and we're going to win. This is Melanie, and we're going to crush them. This is Haley, and we're going to beat them. This is Michaela, and we're going to win. This is Lily, we're going to win. This is Sammy, and heck yes, we'll win. This is Zoe, and we're going to win. This is Rachel, and of course we're going to win. This is Danielle, and we're going to play hard and win.
This is Heather, and we're going to win.
This is Leanne, and of course we're going to win.
Well, the fans have spoken. Our game day predictions today have been brought to you by Bear Lake Realty in Garden City. Gary McKee. Coming up, we're going to talk with a Rebel alum to see what's been happening since graduation. We'll be back with Where Are They Now here on the pregame show in just a bit. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watch the game online at KADQRadio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth and want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is oral surgeon A.J. Stosich inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Throughout our lives, there are times we may need skilled rehabilitation and nursing care or home health and hospice care. Rocky Mountain Care has been providing these services since 1990. Our skilled staff and specialized programs will meet your loved one's needs. Our staff is dedicated to a high-quality outcome for each of our patients and residents. When you or someone you love needs these professional services, think of Rocky Mountain Care. Simply the best care. www.rmcare.com. Welcome back to the pregame show. Today, the Rebels are hosting the Diamond Ranch Diamondbacks here at Rich High School, and we're about 23 minutes away from our opening kickoff. Now, in this segment of the pregame show, we're going to catch up with Rebel alum Robyn Cummings. Robyn graduated from Rich High School in 1990. This portion of the pregame show is called Where Are They Now? Thank you for joining us, Robyn.
You're welcome.
So, Robyn, you were formerly known, or I guess maybe you would say your maiden name was Robyn Eborn.
Eborn.
How long have you been Robyn Cummings?
Oh, let's see. It's about 13 years. I think we've been married since then.
It's usually the husband that has trouble remembering how many years, isn't it, Robyn?
Yeah. Yeah. It's gone by way too fast, I'll tell you that.
I see. So let's talk more about your family in a few minutes. First, can you tell us, you graduated in 1990, correct?
That's right.
And can you tell us about your high school career at Rich High School?
Career as in what I did there?
Yeah, what were you involved in? Did you play sports? Did you do, band or choir or other things like that?
Yeah. The things I remember the most were definitely being involved in volleyball and student council. I was a cheerleader for 1 year. Drama was big, and honor society. So those, and then I was pretty academically oriented with college classes and pretty into grades and that kind of thing, but loved going to high school there, had a great time.
You mentioned drama. Did you do, I know they're still continuing to do a big production each year. Is that what they did when you were there?
Yes, they did a couple of productions. I remember being in Annie Get Your Gun and 12 Angry Jurors. So Mike Williamson does a great job with that, and he's been pretty consistent with that. I know he does a big production every year, at least one.
Were you, did you have big roles? Were you Annie or one of the angry jurors?
I was, and I think he picked me just because there's a little bit of Annie in me naturally. I don't think it was because I had any extra musical talent. I think it was just because the part came easily for me. But yeah, and it was fun. we learned a lot through that and strengthened relationships, and it was fun.
And what about playing volleyball? Tell us more about that.
Well, I played volleyball all 4 years of high school, and Coach Stewart was the coach then. I remember I was around when Coach Stewart first got started, and I was telling her the other day I remember her as being 9 months pregnant when I was in 8th grade, and she had this big round ball, but she was so skinny. That's just how I remember her. It looked like she had a volleyball in her stomach. But loved volleyball and learned a lot from that experience. We were in, I think it was 1988 was when we took the first state championship for I think it was for all of Rich County. And that was a great experience that I will always take with me, something that we learned a lot from. And I still love volleyball to this day. I think someday I'll get back into volleyball, maybe through coaching or some other aspect of it. But the things that we learned through volleyball were things that we took with us. So, I mean, I could elaborate on that, but I don't know how much you want me to.
Yeah, keep going. What things are you talking about that you took with you?
Oh, we learned, and I shouldn't say this was just volleyball. I think with volleyball we learned it extensively, but we learned things through drama and through student council especially, and through academics, through our other academic teachers. But I think namely that there really is no shortcut to anything or any place that's worthwhile, that you have to put the work in, you have to master the fundamentals, and that if you do, you have a really good chance of winning, both on the court and in life, really.
That is a great life lesson right there. You mentioned the winning aspect of that, and last weekend the Coach Stewart and the volleyball team wrapped up, I believe, their 27th consecutive region championship. You must have been, I don't want to date you, I'm sorry if this does.
That's okay.
you were probably there about when that streak started.
Very much so. Yeah, I mean, I was in 8th grade when Coach Stewart started teaching at Rich High School. And yeah, I look back on that. I look back on that first state championship that we won, which I was a junior that year. I think what it told us is that it didn't matter that we were from a small school, that if we worked hard enough, that it proved to us that we could win, we could beat 4A and 5A schools. And then I think back on that as a result of that, I felt like when I left high school that, yeah, there might be a lot of competition out there, but that I've already proved myself. I can already, with the team, I can already do this, so I can do other big things too.
What did you do after high school? Did you go on and do big things?
Well, I don't know if you'd call it big things. It required a lot of work.
Yeah.
I don't want to really brag. I went to my first year at BYU Hawaii, and then followed up with a bachelor's degree at BYU in Provo. And I would say this only to let other students from Rich High know that you can be successful in a big place with a lot of competition coming from a small school. But I was able to graduate the top senior in my class at BYU.
Wow.
And so we learned a lot. We were trained well at the high school. And then from there went to Utah State and got a master's degree, both of those in human development.
Wow.
And since then I worked for a while and got married, and then we lived in Arizona for about 6 years. And I've been a full-time mom for about the last 11 of those years. So, and that's been hard work too. So the lessons I learned at school, as far as, raising kids is not easy.
Mm-hmm. How many kids do you have?
We have 4. We have 2 girls and 2 boys.
And where do you live now?
We live in Grantsville, Utah, which a lot of people don't know where that is. It's in Tooele County, over by the Great Salt Lake. And we've been here for almost 7 years now.
Well, it sounds like things are going well for you. That's great.
Yeah, they are right now. Yeah, we've had our ups and our downs, but I'd say right now we're in a good spot. So it has been good. And I learned a lot. I will always take being from Bear Lake and from Rich High School as one of the best parts or the best things of my life because of good people that help contribute to that.
Is there anything else that you would say to the folks of Rich County if you had a chance to talk to them?
I certainly will. And I was thinking, Ivy Peart, who was the librarian at the time I was going, she was much more than the librarian. She was just a great person to have around. And I remember her saying, shoot for the moon, because if you don't make it to the moon, it's okay because you'll land on the stars. And I've taken that quote with me, and I believe it's true, that if those kids in the high school who are there right now, if they hold their standards high, and if they really do shoot for the moon and they're not afraid to, that they'll go far and they'll be happy and successful.
Robyn, thank you for your words of inspiration and for your time today.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you to Robyn Cummings for joining us here on Where Are They Now? Next up, we'll visit with the coaches of today's teams on the Ashley Brown pregame coaches show, sponsored by Mound Valley Cattle Company. Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. You're listening to the Rebel pregame show and a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
For over 100 years, Union Telephone has been providing phone service to small communities, places the big guys simply ignored. We were helping our neighbors stay connected to the rest of the country. Times have changed and technology has evolved. Union has been there the entire way. Today, we still keep people connected in more ways and places than ever before. Union Wireless, treating you like a neighbor, not a number.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
You're listening to Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3. This is Rebels coach Ashley Brown on the pregame coaches show, and we're just 20 minutes away from kickoff here on KADQ.
Welcome to the Coach Ashley Brown pregame coaches show, brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company. Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. No one sees the game the way the coaches do, so we'll take a few minutes to visit with opposing coach Robbie Dias of the Diamond Ranch Academy Diamondbacks, and then we'll talk with Rebel head coach Ashley Brown and get his thoughts on today's game. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after this from Mound Valley Cattle Company. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
A well-rounded education is one of the keys to success in life. Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company, are cheering for all the students at Rich High School this year. When it comes to buying or selling cattle, the experts at Mound Valley Cattle Company will get it done. Serving Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming, Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho. Call 208-339-0614. That's 208-339-0614.
I'm here with Diamond Ranch Diamondbacks head coach Robbie Dias. And, Coach, thank you for joining me this afternoon.
You bet.
So tell me about your team. What have you got as far as guys returning from last year's squad?
So I have a couple guys that are returning. Like, you know, every year we get a full new group of boys, and so it's always new. I do have a couple returning starters.
And are those guys, are they players that have contributed through the season this year?
Yes, yep. They decided to stay on with us. Felt like we had a good team and an opportunity, and so they've stayed and been a huge impact for our football team.
Can you tell me what guys those are?
Yeah, River Aguirre is one of them. Played wide receiver for us last year. And another is Joe on the line, Joe Yeager. And it's just nice to get a couple of these boys that they have known what we run, and they've seen these other teams before, and can kind of, you know, set our boys at ease a little bit and not get so, you know, excited and overexcited, you know.
Right. How do you feel like the season has gone so far? I mean, looking up and down, you've lost some to some bigger schools, Enterprise, but then you've also got some wins over Altamont. You beat Monticello, and a tough loss at Kanab last week.
You know, a little disappointed. I felt like as hard as it is to bring guys together to play, I feel like we have a really tough team this year. We're big, we're fast, and I just think that it's a lack of effort when we do, lose like we did to Kanab. And so it's nice to know, I mean, it's exciting for us, but as a coach, I look at it, I'm not as impressed. I feel like we still haven't played the game that we know how to play.
Do you feel like you saw some of that against Monticello, that victory you had, that you saw the guys playing the way you want them to?
Absolutely. Yep, I agree. I believe that, especially when it came down to overtime and to see those boys battle and fight for it, I was way, way impressed. And, you play that kind of game and going to Kanab, it's going to be a different story. And so hopefully we've made those tweaks, to make tonight's game a good game.
What about playing Rich? You guys beat the Rebels last year there at Diamond Ranch. The year before, Rich got the win. Being in the third year of the program, how do you feel about facing Rich here at Rich?
I'd have to say honestly that I'm probably the most nervous about Rich. I feel like this year they have people's numbers and they know how to march the ball on guys, and so this is the team that I've been looking forward to seeing how good our boys truly are. Because if you're going to make it to state, you got to be able to knock off a Rich or a Duchesne, and so I'm excited about the game, but they're definitely a tough team.
And what does this game mean for your season? Now, obviously, it's not a region game. It's a classification game, but it's the final game of the regular season. Heading into the playoffs, how big of a game is this for you?
It's huge for us. If we lose to Rich and Monticello wins, we go to a tie, and we're flipping a coin. And so, we have to pull this win off to solidify first or second. So it is a very, very big win for us.
What did you do last year against Rich to get that victory?
We definitely studied them hard as far as what they ran, and that we were able to really work hard on that option and stop it. This year, it looks like it's a little bit different. They changed things up, and they're going to come right up at you and play smash mouth football, which is a little intimidating. No matter how tough you are, you got to know that your defense is tough enough to stop a team like that. And so last year, I felt like we did a good job, and my boys came out to play, and hopefully this year we can do the same.
What are some specific keys that your team needs to do to beat Rich this afternoon?
My front guys have to be absolute animals. They're Rich in watching film. I don't think there's a team that's hitting harder than them, just running around, flying around, and hitting. And so I feel like we got to be big in our gaps. We got to come hard and low. And if we do that, and we can stuff guys up, then we can make it a game, and it'll be a fun night.
All right, well, good luck, Coach, and again, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And we want to thank once again head coach of the Diamond Ranch Academy Diamondbacks, Robbie Dias. And we're about 15 minutes away from kickoff and today's action, and you're listening to the Coach Ashley Brown Pregame Coaches Show, brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company here on the Pregame Show. Stay tuned. We'll visit with head coach Ashley Brown in just a moment. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3 and watch online at KADQradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Find out how Chevy trucks stack up against all of the other major brand name trucks in their class. Confirm what you know or surprise yourself. Just log on to CastleRockChevy.com. Right now you can drive any new Chevy truck off the lot for just 1% over factory invoice OAC, and ask about other rebates and offers that apply.
We're Castle Rock.
Like us on Facebook, Castle Rock Chevy in Evanston, CastleRockChevy.com.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on KADQ. We're in the middle of the coach's pregame show brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company. We'll be back with Rebel head coach Ashley Brown right after this.
A well-rounded education is one of the keys to success in life. Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company, are cheering for all the students at Rich High School this year. When it comes to buying or selling cattle, the experts at Mound Valley Cattle Company will get it done. Serving Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming, Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho. Call 208-339-0614. That's 208-339-0614.
Here with Rich Rebel head coach Ashley Brown. And, Coach, how'd you feel about the win over Altamont Friday?
You know, it was a good win. It's something we needed to do just for home field advantage for the playoffs. And our kids, you know, I thought played well for the most part. We relaxed a little bit in the second half and didn't play as hard as we needed to. But I think a lot of that had to do with the score. So I was pleased with their effort, and, you know, I think we're on the right track.
Does that concern you much, or is it just an issue where you were up and it's not a big worry?
I think most of it was just that we were up so far, and you know the kids played with very little emotion, and I think they know that when they have to play that they will.
Did you expect a closer game against Altamont, or did you guys just step up and play great?
No, we watched them on film, and you know, and we expected a tougher battle, and you know, we knew they were big, and we knew they had a good quarterback and good running back, and we expected a little more out of a battle out of them.
What did you feel went real well for you as a team?
Well, we knew if we jumped on them early that we'd be in good shape, and so that's what we, you know, tried to instill in the kids is, you know, we got to have a good start, and you got to make sure that they know they can't play with us, and we did a good job of that, and I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, a lot of success, a lot of big running plays, you know, of 20, 30, 40-yard rushing on individual plays.
You know, and that's usually not us. We usually have to drive the ball and make long drives, and so it was nice to be able to get those big plays and score off of those big plays.
How or what made the difference to be able to get those plays?
You know, I think our line did a great job with their front line, and then so our backs got to the second level without even getting touched, and some of them got clear to the end zone without getting touched. So just a good job of blocking.
Now, what about Diamond Ranch? You guys, now you went down there and lost to them last year, right?
Yep. They're a very athletic team. They're big. They got a good running back, good receivers. They can throw and run equally well. So it's going to be a challenge, and they're a good team.
They've had similar results against similar teams that you guys have played, Monticello, Kanab, and them.
Yep. You know, that Diamond Ranch beat Monticello in overtime, and then Kanab beat Diamond Ranch. You know, so we know it's going to be different than last week. We're going to have to play, and we have to play well to beat them.
What are you focusing on this week to get ready for Diamond Ranch?
Offensively, they can run and throw equally well. Their back is very quick and does a good job of finding a hole and getting through the hole. So we got to be able to contain their running back and still be able to defend the pass. And then for us offensively, they put tons of pressure on you. They blitz a lot. So we'll be working on picking up blitzes and still getting to the guys that we need to be able to run the football.
I know you've got to be paying attention to another game this Friday night, Kanab and Monticello, because whoever wins there directly affects who you'll host in that first round.
Right. If Monticello loses, we get Monticello. If Monticello wins, it's a three-way tie, and they'll flip a coin. So it's a big game, and we'll definitely be watching.
So it's a coin flip to determine or to break that three-way tie?
Yep. As long as they're all in the playoffs, the only thing they do is flip a coin, and so that's what will happen if Monticello wins.
Is there, I mean, I know you haven't seen or played Diamond Ranch yet, but if you could choose one of the three, would you have a choice, or which one would you pick?
Oh, you know, they all do something a little different, and they all are very scary. You know, it's not a first-round game that we're hoping for, but, you know, we have to play one of them, and so we'll just wait and see who we get and go from there.
Do you look ahead to the next week and who you might play, and then the next finals as well?
When you get to this point, you just take it a game at a time. We know we got to win 3 games after Diamond Ranch, and so that's what we'll focus on, and we'll just look at one team at a time.
Do you feel like you're playing as well as you'd like to be coming at this last game of the season and heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, we've been playing well. You know, we've won a lot of games and had chances to win the one that we did lose, and so I think we're playing pretty well, and that's what you want to be doing at this time of the year.
Well, good luck Friday night against Diamond Ranch.
Okay, thank you.
This has been the Coach's Pregame Show, brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company. We're about 5 minutes from today's kickoff, and you're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ 98.3 FM. Watch the game online at KADQRadio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth or want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is endodontist Les Walker inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Throughout our lives, there are times we may need skilled rehabilitation and nursing care or home health and hospice care. Rocky Mountain Care has been providing these services since 1990. Our skilled staff and specialized programs will meet your loved one's needs. Our staff is dedicated to a high-quality outcome for each of our patients and residents. When you or someone you love needs these professional services, think of Rocky Mountain Care. Simply the best care. www.rmcare.com. You've been listening to the Rich High Rebel Football Pregame Show here on KADQ. We're just moments away from opening kickoff, the starting lineups, and coin toss. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3, and you can watch the game online live at KADQRadio.com.
For over 100 years, Union Telephone has been providing phone service to small communities, places the big guys simply ignored. We were helping our neighbors stay connected to the rest of the country. Times have changed and technology has evolved. Union has been there the entire way. Today, we still keep people connected in more ways and places than ever before. Union Wireless, treating you like a neighbor, not a number.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy Way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Football here on KADQ FM 98.3, and online you can watch at KADQRadio.com. You've been listening to the Rich Rebel Football pregame show, and we're just moments away from starting lineups, the coin toss, and the opening kickoff of this afternoon's game. And you're listening again to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Football on KADQ 98.3 FM. And again, watch online at KADQRadio.com. Starting lineups coming up here in just a moment, as Rebels going to be taking on the Diamondbacks today. It's the Diamond Ranch Academy Diamondbacks. And for today, since it is the final home game of the regular season, the Rebels honoring their seniors here today. And if you're watching online at KADQRadio.com, you can see the crowd of Rebel players out here in front of us. And we have Caden Bartolome out there, Skylar Argyle, number 84, Caden Bartolome, number 10, Dakota Clark, number 54, Cornea Hawken, number 66 rather. And then you see Ben Grohl, number 23, walking out there. Isaac Hopkin, number 64, heading out there. We've got McKay Jarman, number 3, giving those hugs to the coaches. Chalice Myers, who has been out. He was out last week. They didn't know he'd suffered a concussion against Duchesne and was unable to play last week. He was tested yesterday and passed to play today. Other seniors out there as well. You see number 29 heading out there. That's Cody Rose. And along with Jacob Terry. Sage Weston out there as well. and Vance Weston heading out there for the Rich Rebels. Those are the seniors on this year's squad. A lot of contributors on offense and defense, both out there for the Rich Rebel football team.
We want to welcome you to this afternoon's
Welcome to the broadcast here at KADQ FM 98.3 and watch online at KADQradio.com. Rebels will be in their home uniforms with the blue jerseys, white pants, and blue socks, white numbers, and the silver helmets, of course. And for the Diamondbacks, you see the diamonds on the shoulders. It's a black and yellow, almost a checkers. If you're familiar with the Maryland Terrapins, it's kind of similar to that. Just the shoulder pads have the white or the black and yellow checkers, and then they've got white pants, white jerseys, gray numbers with black trim. And they'll be kicking off to start this one off today. So the Rebels will receive to start off, and the Rebel offense starters on the offensive line. Number 51, Sage Weston, a senior. 54, Dakota Clark, a senior. Hawken Cornea, number 66, a senior at center. Number 64 is Isaac Hopkin, a senior. And number 70, Riley Smith, a junior. McKay Jarman, starting quarterback. Number 3 is a senior. Running backs are number 21, Chalice Myers. Cash Saby, number 5. And number 23, Ben Grohl. Tight end is number 84, Skylar Argyle. And wide receiver starting is number 8, Jaden Wallentine. And we are just about to get underway here at Rich High School. Rebels again will receive. Diamond Ranch won the toss. They deferred. So the Rebels will receive here on the south end of the field. And Saby fumbles the kickoff. Now scoops it up at the 8-yard line, trying to find some room. Out across the 10, and he'll be knocked down about the 14. So the Rebels deep in their own territory to start off this first drive. As Rebels moving south to north. If you're watching online at KADQradio.com, it's right to left on your screen. And we'll get you the starting lineup for the Diamond Ranch offense when they come out. That kickoff just moments ago brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. And the Rebels going to look up from here. Not the greatest start there. They're from their own 15-yard line is where it was marked down. Jarman with the 2 in the backfield, Grohl and Saby. Chalice Myers in the slot. A lot of movement from the linebackers of the Diamond Ranch Diamondbacks. Saby gets the handoff coming to this near side, out across the 15 to the 20, upended at the 21. Tackled by Dakota Ware.
there by number 6, Dakota Ware.
Number 6. And the Rebels, a good gain on first down. Cash Saby with close to 7 yards.
Gain of about 7 on the play.
It'll be second down and 3 for the Rebels. Wanting to get a win here after last week's win, 41-14 over the Altamont Longhorns. First quarter here, no score on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And Rebels come out to the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 3 with 2 in the backfield. Here's the snap. Give going to the far side, and Myers is leveled. Nowhere to go there. He looked like he might have had a hole initially, but big Saxon Mingus comes over and just levels Myers for no gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Rebels. Rebels looking for a first down here. On 3rd down from their own 21-yard line. They need to get almost to the 25 for a first down. Early on here, 10 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Rebels have their first possession here. As Vance Weston comes out wide to this near side. Myers in the slot, 2 in the backfield, and Jarman up under center takes the snap. Give coming this side to Saby, out across the 25, breaks a tackle to get the first down. Ball pops loose, but he was down. They whistle it dead. The official line judge comes in and says he was down, and it's a first down for the Rebels on about another 7-yard gain.
Levi Dustin.
Oh boy, make that about a 7-yard gain for for Saby out there to the 28-yard line. And the Rebels move the chains. A first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. And no score on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Rebels received the opening kickoff, which was brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. 2 receivers out to the far side. Myers in the slot. And here's Jarman calling his own number, trying to take it up the middle. Little bit of room. He's out across the 30 to about the 31, almost just shy of the 31-yard line. And It's about 3 yards for Jarman on the carry. It'll bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Rebels. No score on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 9 minutes, 30 seconds left. First quarter here at Rich High School. And Jarman up under center with Wallentine out to the wide far side of the field. Football on this near side hash. Grohl and Leifson in the backfield. Here's the snap. Give to Grohl. Breaks one tackle. Shoves off a man across the 35 to the 36-yard line. He's brought down. And Grohl, a good, hard-nosed, tough run there. Picks up about 4, maybe 5 yards. We'll give Grohl a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 2. A long 2. Rebels need the 38-yard line. And the ball just shy of the 36. They'll come out again. Myers in the slot with Bartlome out to the wide side. Grohl and Saby in the backfield. Here's Jarman, the snap. Fake the handoff, and he's got to keep it himself. Cuts it upfield, some room to run across the 45. Almost sidesteps a tackler at the 45, but he's tripped up and brought down. He gets a 1st down out to about the 47. And a nice gain by McKay Jarman of 10 yards. And the Rebels move the chains. Another 1st down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Rebels a 1st down at their own 47-yard line. Out toward midfield. If you're watching online at KADQradio.com, you see the Rebels moving right to left. The Diamondbacks on the left side, north side of the field. Here's Jarman again. The fake handoff to Grohl. Cuts it upfield inside the 45. Breaks a tackle. Sidesteps another at the 40 to the 35. Inside the 30 before he's finally brought down. And a big gain for Jarman. Would-be tackler was just trying to strip the ball loose, and Jarman held on tight. A big gain. 47-yard line all the way down to the 27. A 25-yard gain for Jarman. And Rebels having that option working, that fake handoff. Now, Grohl has 1 carry for 5 yards, the one time that Jarman gave it to him up the middle. The other 2 times, the last couple plays have gone for 10 and 25. And this one, another 1st down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Wallentine out wide to the far side as the Rebels in Diamondback territory at the 27-yard line. Grohl in the backfield, gets the handoff up the middle, breaks the tackle, trying to bounce off another, and then fighting hard to hold on to the football. 2 hands on there as he's brought down by Braden Burnside. But it's a gain of about 5 for Grohl, a little less than 5 yards on the play. We'll give him 4, and it's 2nd down and 6.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6.
Rebels and the Diamondbacks, no score here early on. 7 minutes, 18 seconds left, first quarter. And no score on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. This is the Rebels' first possession. They started from their own 15-yard line. They've gone 9 plays so far, and they're down to the 20, just outside or just inside the 23 with a 2nd down and 6. Grohl and Saby in the backfield. Here's the snap. Jarman fakes the handoff. Outside quick pitch to Saby. Around the corner. Can't quite beat. Again, number 4, Braden Burnside is out there. He brings down Saby, but it's going to be a 1st down. From the 23 down to about the 16-yard line. So it's another gain of 7 for Cash Saby. He's got 3 carries for 21 yards, 7 yards each. And the Rebels move the chains. Another 1st down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Out around that far side, the right side of the offense. Now they're on that far side hash. It's a 1st down and 10 just outside the 16-yard line. Saby and Grohl in the backfield. Myers in the slot. Here's the snap. Give to Grohl up the middle. A little bit of room initially, and then he's wrapped up. Drags the guy inside to about the 10-yard line. Coming to this near side. That's a good 6-yard gain for Grohl. And the Rebels, a nice 2nd down and short now. 2nd and 4. At the 10-yard line of the Diamondbacks. And Coach Diaz said he needed his guys up front to play like wild animals today. So far, the Rebels are dominating that line of scrimmage. Hope they can keep that going. Here's the snap. Jarman fakes the handoff for running out to this near side. Going to keep it himself to the 5, trying to go through a man, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown! Jarman was met right about the 1-yard line and spun to his right toward the inside of the field. That spin got him into the end zone. Spin on the contact, and Jarman a 10-yard touchdown run, and the Rebels lead 6-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. An 85-yard, 12-play drive that eats up 6 minutes and 7 seconds on the clock. And the Rebels take the lead 6-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Leifson out to attempt the extra point here.
Leifson will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Jarman.
Jarman will hold. The snap is a bit high. Jarman gets it down. Not a good kick, though. Went off the side of Leifson's foot. It's no good. And the Rebels will settle for a 6-0 lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Early on here, first quarter, 5:53 left. The Rebels will kick it off to the Diamondbacks. Kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair and Woodruff, coming up when we come back on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at KADQradio.com. Back in 30 seconds.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
5:53 left, first quarter. Rebels with the 6-0 lead. Their first possession of the football game didn't start well as Saby fumbled the opening kickoff, but recovered it, got out to the 15-yard line, and then the Rebels go 12 plays and 85 yards. McKay Jarman, a 10-yard touchdown run to put the Rebels on the scoreboard and lead 6-0 on that Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Rebels about to kick off here. A kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Here's Leifson, gets off a nice high kick toward this near sideline. Fielded at the 15, to the 20, out to the 25, and Mitch Jarman makes the man. Nowhere to go from there is, I believe it was Hunter Scarola. Maybe it's been Cameron Woodruff with the return man, and Mitch Jarman, a nice open field tackle, trying to maintain that contain, and he did just that. It was Levi Dustin on the return, I believe. So a first down for the Diamondbacks. At their own, what did they mark that? The 24-yard line is where they'll start their first drive. Just outside the 24. They're going to spread it out. Two receivers out wide to each side and one man in the backfield. Here's the snap. Back to throw. It's a screen pass, and it's picked off by Isaac Hopkin. He's going to break a tackle of the quarterback. No, he can't quite get away from Burnside, Braden Burnside, and Hopkin all the way down to the 2-yard line. A turnover brought to you by the station in Randolph. Isaac Hopkin, that first play from scrimmage for the Diamond Ranch Diamondbacks. Hopkin bobbled it a little bit, but then reeled it in, and the Rebels a first down at the Diamondback, about the 2-yard line. Just outside the 2, or did they mark it? Yeah, about just outside the 2-yard line. A first down for the Rebels. Jarman, under center, takes the snap. Give to Grohl up the middle, and a little bit of room, but he's going to be pushed back after the initial push. Gets inside the 1-yard line. It's a 2-yard gain for Grohl. He'll be just short of the end zone. Well, the Diamond Ranch Diamondbacks dropped back. They were trying to run a quick screen on first down, and Isaac Hopkin just read it perfectly. Comes up with the interception, and a turnover brought to you by the station in Randolph, and the Rebels with a 2nd and goal now inside the 1-yard line. Grohl alone in the backfield. Sabian Wallenstein out to the near side. Leifson and Argyle out to the far side. Ball on the near side hash. Here's the snap. Give to Grohl left side. He's going to be stood up and pushed back. Penetration into the backfield, and that's big Saxon Mingus, the senior, who came in to make the tackle. And the Rebels moved the wrong direction by about 2 yards. Grohl goes forward for 2, then backward for 2. And now the Rebels a 3rd down and goal from about the 2.5-yard line, about where they'd spot it for an extra point. Weston out to the near side. 2 in the backfield. Here's the snap. Jarman fakes the handoff, and he's going to walk into the end zone untouched. Rebels up 12-0. Jarman with the 3-yard touchdown run. And McKay Jarman with 2 touchdowns early on here. And that option, boy, that outside linebacker bit on the fake to Grohl, and Jarman around the far end just went uncontested. He could have pitched it to Cash Saby, and either one of them could have scored easily. Jarman keeps it himself, and the Rebels lead 12-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 4:09 left in the first quarter. So McKay Jarman, his second touchdown run of the game. And now the Rebels going to go for 2 here to try to make it a full 2-touchdown lead. Here's the snap, give to Grohl on the far side, and he is going to be stood up and leveled back. Nowhere to go for Grohl, so the Rebels fail on the 2-point conversion attempt, and they'll settle for a 12-0 lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And that turnover, brought to you by the station in Randolph, leads to 6 points for the Rebels. Isaac Hopkin gets the interception, and the Rebels go 3 plays, just 2 yards, and get it into the end zone and lead 12-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. A kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair coming up right after this in 30 seconds on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at kadqradio.com.
Find out how Chevy trucks stack up against all of the other major brand name trucks in their class. Confirm what you know or surprise yourself. Just log on to CastleRockChevy.com. Right now you can drive any new Chevy truck off the lot for just 1% over factory invoice OAC, and ask about other rebates and offers that apply.
We're Castle Rock.
Like us on Facebook, Castle Rock Chevy in Evanston, CastleRockChevy.com.
Rebels with a 12-0 lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, and jumping out to an early lead here, taking advantage of a turnover. Leifson's kick is fielded out of the air, and a quick knee by Jake Dosen, junior wide receiver. Just didn't want to take any chances, and it was a shorter kick. He fielded it at the 35, took a look at the wall of Rebels coming, and just took a quick knee. And the Diamondbacks will take over 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Good field position here with 4:02 left in this first quarter. And the Rebels leading 12-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Burnside in the shotgun again. Next to him is Levi Dustin. He's got 3 receivers spread out to the far side. Here's the snap. Give to Dustin going to that far side. Breaks 1 tackle. Skips by another. Dives forward out close to the 40. I think his knee went down about the 39. They're going to mark it just shy of the 40. And that's a shifty runner right there in Levi Dustin. Picks up 4, almost 5. And it'll be 2nd down and about 6 for the Diamondbacks. After this near side, Levi Vivier and big tight end Saxon Mingus, number 1. 2 receivers out to the far side. Burnside in the shotgun with Dustin behind him. Gives the handoff to him, and not much room to run. Rebels get in there quickly. Dakota Clark makes the initial hit. Chalice Myers comes in to help on the tackle. It's a gain of about 1.5 yards. We'll give Dustin 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 4 for the Diamondbacks. Myers comes out now. And again, Myers suffered a concussion against Duchesne. They didn't realize it till during practice the next week, and he had to sit out of practice and out of the last game and then out of most of practice this week. Had an analysis yesterday, and apparently he's been cleared to play because we see him out there. Here's the snap. Give to the running back. Again, that's Dustin up the middle. Sidesteps a couple tackles out across the 45 near the 50-yard line, and a 1st down, 9 yards for Levi Dustin on the carry. But I believe we have a flag on the play, and I think it's going to be against the Rebels. It is a face mask against Rich High, so that's going to help the Diamondbacks a bit. It was a 9-yard carry for Levi Dustin. Tack on another, it's an inadvertent penalty, inadvertent face mask. So it's just 5 yards to the Rebel 45-yard line. Not the personal foul variety, which could have been could have been real costly. Would have put it up to 35. Instead, it's 45-yard line. The Diamondbacks at the Rebel 45, a 1st and 10. With Rebels leading 12-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Here's the quick throw to this near side. Vivier makes the catch at the 40 and gets ahead to about the 39. He's met pretty quickly by Wallentine, but it's going to be a 7-yard gain. And that's the catch made out there by Vivier. And so it'll be 2nd down and 3 for the Diamondbacks at the Rebel 38-yard line. 2:14 left, first quarter. Rebels leading 12-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Vivier out here to this near side. He's alone on the short side of the field. We got 3 receivers spread out to the far side, and Dustin in the backfield. Here's the snap. Give to Dustin. Bounces off 1 tackler, then a wall of Rebels comes. They've still got him wrapped up, and they're just going to push him off. And he's, let's see where they got it to. They're going to say he lost about 1.5 yards. And it'll be a 3rd down for the Diamondbacks. We'll say he lost a yard on the play. And with a minute and 35 seconds left in the first quarter, Rebels leading 12-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Diamondbacks come out with a 3rd and 4 at the Rebel 39-yard line. Here's the snap. Burnside back, looking to throw. Pressure comes. He rolls out to this near side. Now throws down the sideline and overthrows his intended receiver Levi Vivier. And the throw, even if Vivier had been closer to it, was out of bounds. Would have been a pretty incredible catch. And so it falls incomplete. It'll bring up a 4th down.
Wallenstein and Brown were defending on the play. Brings up a 4th down.
For the Diamondbacks.
On the 39-yard line.
At the Rebel 39-yard line, they're going to line up Mingus back at his own 50, or back right at the 50. And looks like they're going to punt this one away. But we'll have to see just what they decide to do here. Watch out for the fake punt. Mingus, the low snap. And he is going to punt this one away. Angles it toward the far sideline, but not quite enough. It's into the end zone. One bouncing back out of the back of the end zone. Good strong leg on Mingus. That was 55 yards in the air, or pretty close to it. But it'll be a Rebel 1st down at the 20-yard line. Last time the Rebels had it, they started from the Diamondback about the 2.5-yard line and punched it in. Before that, the Rebels went on a 12-play, 85-yard drive to score their first touchdown of the game, and we'll see what they can do here. We've got a timeout on the field. Diamond Raz is going to take a quick timeout. We'll take a quick one as well. Rebels will be back with a 1st down when we come back on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth and want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is oral surgeon A.J. Stosich inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
1st down and 10 for the Rebels at their own 20-yard line. After that punt by the Diamondbacks, they got into rich territory, but the Rebel defense held strong on a 3rd down, and now a 1st and 10 for the Rebels. 2 in the backfield. Here's the snap. Jarman fakes the handoff, coming out to this near side. He breaks free, and he's down the sideline. Just a touchdown-saving tackle out across the 35 near the 40. And, boy, if Barry Allen doesn't hold on to Jarman and drag him down, that might go for 6 points, but as it is, it's 19 yards and a 1st down for Jarman. We saw against Kanab, the Cowboys were not allowing Jarman to get much on the ground, but instead he was pitching it out to, or giving it to Cash Saby up the middle, who was doing the damage. Here today, it's Jarman doing the damage so far. Here's the snap. Jarman fakes the handoff, keeps it himself on the option. He's got Leifson out there. He'll make the pitch and go make a block. Leifson's going to be met about the 46-yard line, trying to cut it back inside, and he'll pick up about 7, maybe close to 8 yards on the carry. But we have a hold against the Rebels, and that'll move them back. I'm going to say that's from the line of scrimmage.
Flag on the play.
And so instead of a 2nd down and about 2, we're going to march the Rebels back. It'll be 1st. They'll replay the down. It'll be 1st and 20, I believe. And they mark it back from the line of scrimmage, which was the 39, and they go back to the 29-yard line, where it's 1st and 20 for the Rich Rebels, leading 12-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. With 35 seconds left to go in this first quarter, Grohl and Myers line up in the backfield. Leifson in the slot. Wallenstein out to this near side out wide. Here's the snap. Jarman fakes the handoff, throws for Wallenstein, and Wallenstein can't quite make the catch. He had to come inside to it and was hit right as he tried to make the catch. The hit by Barry Allen, number 9, knocked it loose. And so the Rebels' first pass attempt of this game falls incomplete, and it'll be 2nd and 20. Boy, Wallenstein was open. And Jarman just underthrew him a little bit, which allowed Allen to get back there and make the play. Second down and 20 for the Rebels, now leading 12-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Clock at 22.8 seconds left in the first quarter. Myers coming in motion. Jarman fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, trying to cut up the middle to the 35, and then he's wrapped up and pushed back and dropped down. It'll be a gain of about 6 for Jarman, but it'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Rebels. That penalty might prove very costly on this drive.
Excuse me, that was number 53.
And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Rebels lead 12-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Couple of touchdown runs by McKay Jarman. Rebels have failed on both point conversions, both extra point conversions, but they lead 12-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth or want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is endodontist Les Walker inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ. Rebels with a 3rd down and about 14 to go from their own 35-yard line. Now moving north to south as we've switched to the second quarter action. Rebels with 2 in the backfield. Here's the snap. Fake the handoff to Grohl up the middle. Jarman coming out to this near side, cuts it up across the 40, and then he's upended and dropped down about the 43-yard line, maybe the 44. So a good gain of about 8 yards. River Aguirre helps in on the tackle. And it's a good gain for Jarman. Give him 8 yards, but it'll be 4th down and a long 5. We'll call it 6. Rebels leading 12-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 11 minutes and 28 seconds left. Second quarter. Rebels took the opening drive 85 yards and scored the touchdown and then converted a turnover. Isaac Hopkin got the interception on the first play from scrimmage for the Diamondbacks, and Hopkin returned it down to the 2. Now Jaden Wallenstein lined up the punt on a 4th and 6 for the Rebels. Diamondbacks with nobody back there to return this punt. Wallenstein fumbles it, picks it up, trying to run, and he's going to be dropped down at the 41-yard line. And they had some good pressure in there. So the Rebels, not a good turn of events right there. And we'll just call it a turnover on downs. And the Diamondbacks will have it 1st and 10 at the Rebel 41-yard line with 10:57 left in the second quarter. Spread out, Burnside in the shotgun. Here's the snap, fake the handoff to Dustin, and now he's going to run. Gets around one Rebel tackler, bounces to the outside, and it's a foot race down the sideline. Vance Weston's going to catch up to him about the 20. I think they'll say he stepped out about the 23. That'll be a gain of about 18 yards on the carry, and Braden Burnside, the quarterback, showing some real quickness and some good moves. He made that initial move on Jacob Terry, and Terry couldn't wrap him up, and then Burnside picks up 18 yards down that far side. And now a whistle and a timeout, Rebels. We'll take a quick timeout as well, and we'll be back. Rebels leading 12-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 10:47 left here in the second quarter, and we'll be back in a minute on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at kadqradio.com.
Throughout our lives, there are times we may need skilled rehabilitation and nursing care or home health and hospice care. Rocky Mountain Care has been providing these services since 1990. Our skilled staff and specialized programs will meet your loved one's needs. Our staff is dedicated to a high-quality outcome for each of our patients and residents. When you or someone you love needs these professional services, think of Rocky Mountain Care. Simply the best care. www.rmcare.com.
Well, the Rebels give up 18 yards on that first down play. Burnside takes it 18 yards down that far sideline. It's a 1st and 10 at the Rebel 23-yard line. And Burnside again in the shotgun. Dustin, no, that's number 40, Anthony Medina to his right. Here's the snap. Give to Medina coming to this near side. Trying to get around the corner. Mitch Jarman comes in. A flag flies as Jarman wraps him up, and then Dakota Clark comes in and gets Medina from behind. And this flag is going to be a block in the back or a hold, I believe, as Jarman was trying to get around that blocker. And it is a block in the back. Somehow Jarman gets blocked in the back and still makes the play. And let's see, it would have been about a 3-yard gain for the Diamondbacks. Block in the back would be marked off from the line of scrimmage, so that'll take them back 10 yards. The Rebels are going to accept that penalty. And instead of a 2nd down and about 7, it'll be a 1st and 20 for the Diamondbacks. So they line up on this near side hash with 3 receivers to the far side. 1 out to this near side, and Burnside takes the snap, steps back, looking to throw, throws over the middle. He's got his man. Catch made by Mingus. Breaks 1 tackle to the 20, to the 15, or close to it before he's knocked down and out of bounds. Going to mark him out about the 18-yard line, and a big gain. Wow, 15 yards on the play. It was a good timing pass, and Mingus, some good ability to run after the catch. And it's a 2nd down and a long 5 for the Diamondbacks. Mingus out here to this near side. One of 3 receivers split out to this side. Burnside in the backfield. And he's got Levi Dustin to his right. Here's the shotgun. The snap back to Burnside. Looking to throw. Looking again for Mingus. He makes the catch at the 10. Hit immediately by Jarman. And about the 12 is where they're going to mark it.
Mitch Jarman, but it is.
And from the 18 down to the 12, that's a 6-yard gain. They needed 5. So it's a 1st down
at the 12
for the Diamondbacks. Down at the 12-yard line, they can get a 1st down about the 2. Mingus again here on this near side, and a trips. Little bunch set of receivers here on the near side. Burnside. And the football right about in the middle of the field. Here's the snap. Give to Dustin. Nowhere to go. He'll be wrapped up and brought down. I'll tell you, a good job by Skylar Argyle. He wrapped up Dustin and wouldn't let him go. And he couldn't bring him down. He was being hit by one of the blockers of the Diamondbacks, but he just held on until a few more Rebels came back and helped make the tackle. And it's going to be a loss of about 6 on the play. They mark it clear back to the 19. So actually a loss of closer to 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and about 18. And a nice play by Argyle there. So just never gave up on holding Dustin. Wouldn't let him go. Here's the 2nd down and 16. Burnside back looking to throw, throwing down this near sideline, and it's going to be incomplete. Looked like he had it. As Dakota Ware, I think, is who it was. Or was it number 5, River Aguirre? Hard to tell on these numbers. The 5, 6, and 8 look real similar. It was number 6, Dakota Ware. Or no, it was number 5, wasn't it? Brian, thanks. It was River Aguirre, who thought he had the catch, but he didn't, and it's an incomplete pass. So it'll be 3rd down and long now. 3rd and about 16. Out wide to this near side is Jake Dozen. 2, 3 receivers out to this side. Burnside back looking to throw. Pressure comes. He's going to run away from it to the far side. Throws under pressure, and he completes it for a gain of about 4. The completion to Aguirre. And actually, he's going to pick up Not even that. I was mistaken. He only picked up about a yard on the play.
14 to go.
So it'll be 4th down and 15. They're at the Rebel 12-yard line. No, make my mistake, 17-yard line. And they need about the 2 for a first down. They're going to go for it or line up to go for it here, it looks like. Dustin in the backfield with Burnside in the shotgun. Trips out to this near side. Coy Brown back at the 5, playing free safety for the Rebels. Here's the throw to this near side. It's off the back of Jarman, and Coy Brown has it at the 10, to the 20. It's going to be a race down the sideline to the 40. A blocker there is Mitch Jarman to the 40, now the 35, wrapped up and brought down about the 35-yard line, and a late flag flies in as Coy Brown gets the big return. He picked that off about the 5 and goes all the way down to the Diamondback 35-yard line. No, more like the 30 is where they mark it. And a face mask, personal foul against the Diamondbacks. So that's going to give the Rebels even better field position. And that's the second interception of the ball game. Another turnover brought to you by the station in Randolph. And so, really, that's a 65-yard return with 15 more yards tacked on. That's essentially an 80-yard interception return for the Rebels. Clear down inside the 20-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 18.
Return by Brown, first down.
With 8 minutes, 41 seconds left in this first half. Rebels with a 12-0 lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And they're going to bring, now they're going to reposition the football. I think they originally thought half the distance to the goal. Now they realize half the distance from the 30 is the 15. And now a little bit more clarification. Rebels are going to huddle up again. And again, that turnover brought to you by the station in Randolph. Big turnover there is the Diamondbacks down in the red zone. And good heads up by Coy Brown. The ball just kind of popped up off of Jarman, Mitch Jarman, and Brown just reels it in and heads down the sideline. Got some good blocking as well. Rebels at the 15-yard line of the Diamondbacks. And here's the snap. Give to Cash Saby going to that far side and just runs right through a man down inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line, maybe down closer to the 7. Aguirre finally made the tackle and had a couple of teammates help him out there, but Cash Saby, a good strong run, picks up 7. That's been his MO today. He's got 4 carries for 7 yards each, 28 yards in the game.
Second and 3.
Mitch Jarman will run the play in for the Rebels, leading 12-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 8 minutes left in this first half. Leifson in the slot, Vance Weston out to this near side. Jarman and Grohl in the backfield. And Jarman up under center. Here's the snap. Give to Grohl. Nope. McKay is going to keep it. Trying to bounce it outside. Down toward the goal line. He spins trying to get, and he should have the first down. He was bumped out of bounds. And McGuire and Burnside in on the tackle to get him out of bounds. But Jarman with the first down. About the 4-yard line. He needed 3. So he got 4 yards on the carry. And it's a first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. And up to the line of scrimmage go the Rebels with Mitch Jarman, Joseph Leifson, and Ben Grohl in the backfield. McKay Jarman goes up under center. Wallenstein out to split to this near side. Here's the snap. McKay fakes the handoff, rolling out to this side, pitches for Mitch Jarman. A man is there. He'll be wrapped up, but he dives forward and uses his strength and momentum to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rebels, and Mitch Jarman, the 4-yard touchdown run. And the Rebels lead 18-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Rebels take advantage of that turnover. That's the second interception of the game, and that turnover was brought to you by the station in Randolph. 2 interceptions so far for the Rebel defense, and they've scored both times on the ensuing possession. This time, a 4-yard touchdown run by Mitch Jarman. And the Rebels lead 18-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 7:25 left in the second quarter. Rebels going to go for it here on the 2-point conversion attempt. Jarman, Leifson, and Grohl in the backfield. Here's McKay Jarman up under center, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws over the middle to Bartlome, who goes down to the ground and makes the catch. Fake the handoff, the play fake, draws the defense in, and Bartlome was all alone on that quick slant into the end zone. Jarman finds him for the 2-point conversion, and the Rebels lead 20-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 7:25 left in this second quarter. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and watch online at kadqradio.com.
For over 100 years, Union Telephone has been providing phone service to small communities, places the big guys simply ignored. We were helping our neighbors stay connected to the rest of the country. Times have changed and technology has evolved. Union has been there the entire way. Today, we still keep people connected in more ways and places than ever before. Union Wireless, treating you like a neighbor, not a number.
Rebels with the lead, 20-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, and that last drive, they only had to go 15 yards. Mitch Jarman punches in with a 4-yard touchdown run, and then the 2-point conversion. The pass from Jarman to Bartlome. And the Rebels with the big lead. Leifson here, the kickoff, brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. It's bobbled and still on the ground. Now it's out of bounds as a couple of Rebels get there. Vance Weston got there quickly and made some contacts. Alex Bird there as well. But it was knocked out of bounds, and River Aguirre able to finally gain control of it as the Rebels came in there. They're going to mark that at the 24-yard line.
The 24-yard.
Diamondbacks, 1st and 10. They moved the ball on that last drive, but turned it over down inside the red zone. 7 minutes, 23 seconds left in the first half. And the Diamondbacks with 3 receivers to the far side, one out to this near side. Here's Burnside in the shotgun. And takes the snap. Back looking to throw. Pressure coming. He rolls out to his right. Throws out there for Saxon, and it's just through his hands, but I think he would have been out of bounds anyways. Saxon Mingus, the intended receiver, and it's incomplete. Cash Saby was defending on the pass attempt. Was right there with Mingus. And there's also a flag down right at the line of scrimmage, and it's an illegal procedure. Illegal formation, I guess, by the Diamond Ranch Diamondbacks. Third penalty on the Diamondbacks of this first half. 30 yards in penalties. And the Rebels, it looks like they've declined it. So it's 2nd down and 10. Here's the snap, give up the middle, nowhere to go for, I think it was Levi Dustin again on the carry. And Mitch Jarman, Isaac Hopkin team up for the big tackle there. No gain on the play, really. Yeah, they're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And it's a 3rd down and 10. And this Rebel defense is fired up. They forced a couple of turnovers. The offense has taken advantage of those turnovers. Brought to you by the station in Randolph. And the Rebels lead 20-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 6:45 left here in the second quarter. Split receivers, 2 out to each side. Ball on this near side hash as the Diamondbacks go right to left. That's south to north. Burnside back looking to throw. Now stops in the pocket, throws, and it's complete to Mingus right near the 1st down marker at about the 33-yard line. It looks like he'll be just short. He needed the 34 and got the 33, so it's a 9-yard completion. And they're going to be 1 yard short of the 1st down. That's Saxon Mingus is a big target. Uses his body well on that last pass and catch, and it looks like he's going to go back to punt this one away. Lined up at his own 21-yard line. Good snap, and he gets off a long punt. Nice high punt, and it takes a Diamondback bounce. Rebels expecting the Diamondbacks to go for it, so nobody's back there to return, and the Diamondbacks will down it right about the 15-yard line. So a great punt by Mingus. And the Rebels back deep in their own territory at their own 15-yard line. 1st and 10 with 5:47 left in this first half. Rebels leading 20-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Their first possession started at the 15-yard line to start the game off. And they took that made that first drive, 12 plays, 85 yards, and scored. And we'll see if they can do that this time. If you're watching online at KADQRadio.com, Rebels moving left to right. That's north to south here at Rich High School. Bartlemy out wide to this near side. Jarman under center with Leifson in the slot. Ball right about in the middle of the field. Here's Jarman, keeps it himself, sidesteps one tackler across the 20, the 22. He's wrapped up and brought down. Just taking it himself just off the left side of the center. And Jarman picks up 7 yards on the carry. Real quick carry, and he's just a good slippery runner in there. Tough to bring down, and uses his length well to pick up 7 yards. So a 2nd and short for the Rebels, which is key to any option offense to get that good gain on 1st down, which opens up the playbook on 2nd down. So a 2nd and 3 for the Rebels at their own 21-yard line. Jarman takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Grohl on that near side, fakes the pitch, now across the 25, breaking tackles across the 30, wrapped up and brought down about the 34, and a big gain for Jarman from the 22 out to the 34-yard line. 12 yards for Jarman.
12-yard gain on the play.
Who's got 11 carries and has got to be approaching about 60 yards rushing today. I have to do the math. He may be closer to 75. And he moves the chains there. A 1st down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. And the Rebels a 1st down at their own 34-yard line. Grohl and Saby in the backfield. Here's the snap. Again, fake the handoff. Throw to Wallenstein, wide open down the sideline, and he's just overthrown. Oh, man, he was all alone. That fake handoff, Braden Burnside got burned completely on this side. He was the cornerback, and he bit on that play action. And Wallenstein, I mean, he was 12, 15 yards out in front of anybody on that Diamondback defense. And Jarman got some good air underneath it, but just overthrew him. Maybe a yard, about a half a yard is all Wallenstein needed to get underneath that football. Incomplete pass. It's 2nd and 10 for the Rebels. Grohl and Leifson in the backfield. Here's the snap, fake the handoff. Now Jarman again fakes the pitch, runs right by the defender, and he's going to pick up a close to 10 yards, maybe 11 across the 45 or right at the 45, and it's 11 yards for Jarman and a 1st down. They get that. They're just not getting enough defenders out there. They're biting on that fake handoff. Jarman making a good read is what he's doing. He's making that initial read, and instead of handing off the Grohl right up the middle, he pulls it out and starts to run. The Diamondbacks are only having one defender out there, and when Jarman either fakes the pitch and cuts it upfield, he picks up 8 or 10 yards, or if he makes the pitch, Savy's picking up 7 yards per carry. And the Rebels move the chains. Another 1st down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Rebels a 1st down and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Pressure coming up the middle. Jarman fakes the handoff. It's a reverse. Leifson's got it on the far side. One man to beat. He breaks the tackle. Oh, and he's just bumped out of bounds. He can't quite stay in bounds. He did break that tackle. River Aguirre there, but Aguirre did enough to bump Leifson to force him onto the sideline. Leifson does pick up about 8 yards on the carry. You love to see Leifson out in the open field. He can move. And, boy, if he gets past Aguirre there, he might race down the sideline for a 55-yard touchdown run. But picks up 8, and it's 2nd down and 2 for the Rebels, leading 20-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 3:58 left first half. Wallenstein out to this near side. And Grohl with Saby, the tailback, in the backfield. Here's the snap. Give to Grohl. Nope. Jarman keeps it himself. Cuts upfield inside the 45. Now the late pitch to Saby to the 40. The 30. It's a race down the sideline to the 20. 10, 5. Touchdown. Saby's going to score. Everybody was collapsing on Jarman, and somehow he stayed on his feet and made the late pitch. They'll give a 47-yard touchdown run to Cash Saby. And Jarman picked up about 7 of those. Well, we're going to give it all to Saby on that. That's that late pitch that I know Coach Brown has got to just be cringing a little bit on saying you got to hold on to the football, but you can't you can't come down on the kid for making a pitch like that scores a touchdown. 26-0, Rebels with the lead. Here's the extra point attempt. Leifson kicks it high and straight. It's through the uprights, and the Rebels lead 27-0 on the Untitled scoreboard, or the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 3:49 left in the first half, and the Rebels up big on the Diamond Ranch Diamondbacks. Stay tuned on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3, and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
A minute 58 off the clock there. The Rebels go 7 plays, take 7 plays to go 85 yards and make it 27-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Here's a kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Leifson, and it bounces. Aguirre scoops it up on the bounce about the 23. Toward the middle of the field and nowhere to go. Trying to find a lane up the middle, and he'll be wrapped up and brought down. A great tackle there by Porter Argyle. He just kind of came in from the backside as Aguirre was trying to cut back up the field. And Aguirre just wrapped him up and threw him to the ground. And the Diamondbacks will have it 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Rebels dominating here in the first half, leading 27-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And one of the biggest differences has been turnovers. Rebels have intercepted Braden Burnside, the quarterback of the Diamondbacks. They've intercepted him twice. Here's the snap. Burnside trying to make some room. He gives it off to Levi Dustin. Breaks one tackle, breaks another. Out across the 25 or to the 30, and then about to the 32-yard line. Real shifty runner. He's not real big, but he's able to break a few tackles and get out to about the 33-yard line before the Rebels finally brought him down and ended his forward progress. So Dustin, that's Levi Dustin on the carry. Rebels have bottled him up for the most part up to this point, but he picks up 6 there, and it's 2nd down and 4 for the Diamondbacks. Here's the snap, fake the handoff, and now Burnside, some room to run on the far side, almost tripped up by Jarman, and then he's across the 40 to the 1st down. A flag flies in as the Rebels wrap him up and spin him down at about the 41. And it's a personal foul, face mask on the Rebels.
Face mask against the Rebels.
So that's going to give the Diamondbacks an additional 15 yards after the end of the play. And it was about a 6-yard run for Burnside. 15 yards tacked onto that, and suddenly the Diamondbacks are at the Rebel 44-yard line. In Rebel territory. 3 receivers to this near side. Rebels only have 2 defenders. Now Brown comes out to make that 3rd defender out on this near side. Here's the snap. Burnside back. Looking to throw. Pressure comes. He steps up away from it. Now wrapped up and brought down by Argyle right about the line of scrimmage. Nice job by Argyle to wrap him up and bring him down. They use those long arms, and that's the second big one he's made. Big tackle just where he's got a blocker in his face, but he kind of reaches around, wraps up the man with the football, and makes the play. Burnside, no gain on the play. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's at the 44-yard line of the Rebels. 2 minutes, 18 seconds left in this second quarter. Rebels lead 27-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 3 receivers to this near side. Saxon Mingus, the middle receiver. Mitch Jarman is on him. Now here's the snap. Give to Dustin up the middle. Now cuts it back to the far side. Big hit, keeps his feet, still moving forward. The ball's on the ground, and Coy Brown's on top of it. The Rebels have the football. Levi Dustin was just keeping the play alive, giving that second and third effort, and then he got popped. The ball squirted loose, and Coy Brown falls on top of it. Dustin had picked up about 12 yards and a first down before the ball came loose. And that's the third turnover of the football game for the Diamondbacks, and that turnover is brought to you by the station in Randolph. And now the Rebels have it 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line. Timeout on the field. We'll take a quick timeout as well. 1:59 left in the first half. Rebels leading 27-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3 and watch online at KADQradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Rebels leading 27-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard as time is running down in the second quarter. 1:59 left in this first half, and the Rebels with the football, 1st and 10 after that turnover, brought to you by the station in Randolph. Coy Brown recovers the fumble, and the Rebels 1st and 10 from their own 29. 3 in the backfield with Myers, Leifson, and Saby, and Bartlemy out to this near side. Jarman takes the snap, keeps it himself up the middle. Little room to run, trying to break tackles. Drags the defense forward across the 35. It's a gain of about 7 for Jarman on first down. And that'll bring up a 2nd and short for the Rebels, which they've done well today, giving themselves, putting their offense in a great position when you get a 2nd down and short, no matter what offense you run, and especially in an option offense. And now a timeout on the field, or an official's timeout. And he's going to have a quick chat with the Rebels about, it looks like one of the Rebels had trouble with his shoe. It's Isaac Hopkett. Takes his shoe off. Now he's going to put it back on and retie. So an equipment failure, I guess you could call that. He's ready to go. We'll start the clock again. 1:30 left in the first half. Rebels with a 2nd and 3. Leifson, Grohl, and Saby in the backfield. Here's the snap. Give to Saby up the middle. Breaks free into the secondary across the 45 and near the 50-yard line before he's brought down. They're going to mark it at the 49. That's 15 yards for Saby.
By number 8.
And he's close to 100 yards rushing today. Now the Rebels quickly back out there with 1:15 left in the first half. They see things are working. They're going to try to maybe score one more time. Here's the snap. Jarman fakes the handoff to Grohl, now cuts it back inside, sidesteps one tackler across the 50, and then he's held up and leveled at the 45-yard line. So he'll pick up 5.5 yards, and the Rebels will call a timeout with 1:04 left in this first half. Jarman picks up 6. It's 2nd down and a long 4 when we come back on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3 and watch online at KADQradio.com.
Find out how Chevy trucks stack up against all of the other major brand name trucks in their class. Confirm what you know or surprise yourself. Just log on to CastleRockChevy.com. Right now you can drive any new Chevy truck off the lot for just 1% over factory invoice OAC, and ask about other rebates and offers that apply.
We're Castle Rock.
Like us on Facebook, Castle Rock Chevy in Evanston, CastleRockChevy.com.
Rebels leading 27-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, and they have the football in Diamond Ranch territory at the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 5 after Jarman picked up 5 on that last carry. He's got to be close to 100 yards. We'll update stats during our halftime show, so stay tuned for that. As Bartlome goes out to the wide side, Rebels with a second down and a short 5 here at the Diamond Ranch 46. Grohl and Lacen in the backfield. Here's the snap. Give to Saby on the reverse. He's got some room to run inside the 40 to the 35, the 30, down the sideline. Just couldn't quite break that last tackle by Levi Dustin. He's tripped up and knocked down, brought down about the 15. So Saby with 31 yards on the carry. And moves the chains. A first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Rebels lined up and ready to go with under a minute left in the second quarter. Jarman under center. Saby and Grohl in the backfield. I formation. Here's the snap. Fake the handoff to Grohl. Bounce it outside. Jarman the late pitch to Saby inside the 10-5, and he is going to almost walk into the end zone. Rebels put another one on the scoreboard and lead 33-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 45 seconds left in this first half. It's been all Rebels, and Cash Saby, his second touchdown of the day. This one for 15 yards. He's got another one from 47 yards out, both of them on a late pitch from Jarman. And the Rebels are dominating here as Jarman will go down to hold the extra point attempt for Leifson. Leifson awaits. Here's the snap. It's high. Jarman gets it down. The kick is high and off the right upright. Bounces on the crossbar and takes a lucky bounce for the Rebels. Went off the upright, on the crossbar, and bounced south. That's the way we needed it to bounce for the extra point. The ball is bouncing the right way for the Rebels today, who lead 34-0 over the Diamond Ranch Academy Diamondbacks. 34-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 45 seconds left here in this first half. Rebels have taken advantage of 3 Diamondback turnovers. Isaac Hopkin with an interception. He returned to the 2-yard line. The Rebels punched it in 2 plays later. A few possessions later, the Coy Brown came up with an interception, and the Rebels went 3 plays. Mitch Jarman scored the touchdown that made it 20-0 at that point. Then this last possession, Coy Brown recovers the fumble, and the Rebels go 71 yards on 5 plays and now lead 34-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Offense has been working well, and the defense has bent a little here and there, but they have not broken here this afternoon. And the Rebels lead big. This is what they did last week against Altamont. We'll see if they can keep that intensity up for the second half. Here's a kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Joseph Leifson, little squib onside type kick, and it's scooped up. Good heads up play there by Elliot Marana. And so Marana fields it at the 40, well, right about midfield. I think they're going to say the 49. With 43.6 seconds left in this first half. Diamondbacks with great field position. And a first down. Rebels leading 34-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Trips to that far side, one receiver to this near side. And here's Braden Burnside. Takes the snap. Quick throw out to the far side and a quick hit by Vance Weston. Catch was made by Levi Vivier, but he had nowhere to go. And Weston makes the tackle. Good heads-up defensive play by Weston, and no gain on the play. So a second down and 10 for the Diamondbacks with 20 seconds left to go in this first half. They're going to get the kickoff to start the second half, and they may be content to just run this one out, or they're lining up. Maybe they're going to throw one for the end zone. We saw Braden Burnside throwing it about 50 yards in the air in warm-ups. He's going to throw out to this near side for Mingus. He goes up high and brings the catch down. What an athletic play with 1.8 seconds left on the clock in this first half. He's got a first down at the 37-yard line. It's a 14-yard gain. And what a catch by Mingus. They don't stop the clock, though. They lined up. They maybe were going to try to run a play, but the clock runs out. The officials keeping the players on the sidelines, though. They're going to say I believe they're going to say that Diamond Ranch called a timeout with 1.8 seconds left on the clock is what we had. And Diamond Ranch will get one more play before the half. Rebels leading 34-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And what that does actually with the ball at the Rebel 37-yard line is it sets up a much better opportunity for Diamond Ranch with that completion to heave one for the end zone. Whether they'll heave one for the end zone or try some kind of hook and lateral or what is yet to be seen. They'll put 2 seconds back up on the clock. Diamond Ranch comes out and they're ready to run this play. Rebels just want to knock it down. They're going to maybe bring in an extra defensive back. Doesn't look like it. They'll just drop more people back. Linebacker position. Trips out to the far side in a bunch, and one receiver out to this near side. Braden Burnside, pressure coming up the middle. He'll step up away from it. Now he's going to look to run. Mitch Jarman, Skylar Argyle will wrap him up and just push him out of bounds. He picks up about 5 or 8 yards, but doesn't matter because time runs out in the first half, and the Rebels lead 34-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard as we head for the half. Big first half for the Rich Rebels and dominating. That's the end of second quarter action, and halftime is coming up. Western Ag Credit scoreboard again shows the Rebels leading 34-0. And you're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM. And you can watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth or want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is endodontist Les Walker inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Throughout our lives, there are times we may need skilled rehabilitation and nursing care or home health and hospice care. Rocky Mountain Care has been providing these services since 1990. Our skilled staff and specialized programs will meet your loved one's needs. Our staff is dedicated to a high-quality outcome for each of our patients and residents. When you or someone you love needs these professional services, think of Rocky Mountain Care. Simply the best care. www.rmcare.com.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3 and here online at KADQradio.com. You can watch the game. Welcome to the halftime show. In that first half, it was all Rich Rebels. Diamond Ranch able to move the ball a little bit, but anytime they'd get anywhere close to the Rebel red zone or into the red zone, Rebel defense would step up. They forced a turnover deep in the red zone, interception by Coy Brown. Coy Brown came up with a fumble later on, and the offense turned those turnovers into points. They converted into touchdowns on after each of those turnovers. That first turnover, brought to you by the station in Randolph, was Isaac Hopkin on the first play of scrimmage. First play of offensive scrimmage for the Diamondbacks. They went up back, tried to set up the screen. Hopkin read it perfectly and just stepped in there. Bobbled a little bit, but he did come up with it, got the interception, returned it down to the Diamond Ranch 2-yard line, and the Rebels punched it in from there. It's been all Rebels, and both McKay Jarman and Cash Saby with more than 100 rushing yards in that first half. As the Rebel offensive line is doing the job blocking. They're also getting some good blocking on the outside from their backs. And the option has been working well for Jarman. He hasn't given it to Ben Grohl a whole lot, just 5 carries, 17 yards. But the fake, he's making the good read on faking that handoff to Grohl. Then he pulls it out and runs out to around the outside. He's pitched it out to Saby a few times. Saby actually with 8 carries, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns in the first half. And Jarman with 14 carries and over 100 yards rushing in that first half as well, as the Rebel offensive running game has been extremely effective. So that's where we are here at the half. Rebels leading 34-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Big lead for the Rebels. And if you're watching online at KADQRadio.com, you see the Randolph cheer and dance team out there, the little girls performing. And Rebels, boy, with a big lead here on Senior Day. Final home game of the regular season for the Rebels. And keep in mind that after this game, we're going to run into the gym and bring you the action of the volleyball team hosting North Summit. It's Rebel volleyball team hosting North Summit Lady Braves, and we'll have all the action of that match right here on KADQ right after this football game. So stay tuned. After our post-game show, we'll get right into the gym and bring you the volleyball match. In the meantime, Rebels with the big lead, 34-0 at the half on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Rebels with 3 turnovers in that first half, brought to you by the station in Randolph, and the offense has taken advantage of those 3 turnovers to score points after or following each of those turnovers. They've turned those turnovers basically into 3 touchdowns. And again, Rebels lead 34-0 at the half on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Well, stay tuned. We got plenty more coming up on our halftime show, including a talk with our student in the classroom, and that's going to be Chelsea Arrington. We'll also have an interview with Coach Dave Christensen of the Wyoming Cowboys. So that's coming up here on our halftime show.
You're listening to the Halftime Show here on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQRadio.com. And it's time now for Students in the Classroom. And today we visit with Chelsea Arrington. So, Chelsea, tell me about what you're into in the classroom.
What classroom? I'm sorry.
So, what classes are you taking right now?
I'm taking Geology 1010, SCHT 1500, Communications 1020, Criminal Justice 1010, and English 1010, and Nurse 1008, and Math 1010.
That's a lot of classes. Are there one or two that you're really liking the most right now?
I really like Criminal Justice right now, just learning about the law and what goes on.
Is that something you want to study more and get into in the future?
Probably not, but it's just interesting to know about my country's laws and stuff.
Looking ahead at your future, do you know what you want to study and go into?
Yeah, I want to go into nursing, maybe neonatal nursing, so.
Do you know if you're going to attend college then and where you would go?
Yeah, I want to go to Weber, because I heard that they have a really good medical program, so.
Are you from Rich County?
No, I'm from Logan.
What brought you here?
Family and the family ranch, so.
Do you get to work on the ranch?
Yes.
Is it a get to or a have to?
It's a get to and sometimes have to.
Can you tell me a little bit about the ranch? How big is it? Do you run cattle and what do you do?
My grandpa has about 250 head of cattle and my uncle has about 250 head of cattle. But they run together, so there's about 500 total, and I just go and help them, and we get a brand and I guess just work with cows, but then there's the horse aspect too, and get to work with horses, which is fun.
You get to do that stuff, and then sometimes you have to fix fence and stuff like that.
Yeah, or hay, yeah.
What else are you involved with at Rich High School? Do you do music, choir, band, anything like that?
I do basketball.
So basketball, what position do you play?
I play a post.
How do you like playing for Coach Ferguson?
It's good. He's a pretty good coach.
You guys have high hopes for this year in the season?
Yeah. Hopefully we can take state.
Who are the teams that you know you'll have to beat to get to state and win state?
Pingwich and St. Joe.
Did you play them last year?
Yep.
And
yeah, it'd be nice to beat St. Joe.
A little bit of revenge in your eyes, I see.
Yep.
So you play basketball. Do you do any other activities at Rich High School?
I'm a concurrent student, but other than that, not really.
Are there things about Rich High School that you like better than Logan?
I like that it's smaller and that you get more one-on-one time with the teacher.
Have you set goals for what you want to accomplish this year in school?
Yeah, I guess just graduate with my diploma, high school diploma, and then I want to graduate with my associates too, and then take state in basketball, so, yep.
Good goals. Well, good luck with those things, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
This has been Students in the Classroom featuring Chelsea Arrington. And next on the Halftime Show, we visit with University of Wyoming Cowboy head coach on the Coach Dave Christensen Show.
Mark Ainsworth now talking to Wyoming football coach Dave Christensen. And, Coach, as we get this interview underway, talk a little bit about how the kids are responding. How did they respond? How did things work out in your first Monday morning practice after that loss against Colorado State?
Responded well. It was actually an excellent practice this morning. I was down at the offensive end. I was pleased with that. And then a couple of coaches told me that there was a lot of energy down at the defensive end. So our kids, we're moving on as we have to do. Had a good morning of practice.
Colorado State's a good team. Did the Wyoming Cowboys overlook Colorado State, Coach?
I certainly didn't overlook them. I thought they were good on film. I think our kids had respect for them. I would hope they did. Sit each guy down and ask them. Our staff certainly didn't overlook them. We were nerved up all week, and knowing that they were an improved football team, for some unforeseen reason, we didn't play very well.
You got beat 45-15 by Colorado State. Coach, do you feel that they ran up the score on you?
I don't know if they ran it up. It's our job to tackle them when they run the football. So, nobody, in basketball, they don't miss shots, so they don't run up the score. In football, they don't take a knee. So, I didn't think they ran up the score. I didn't think we did a very good job.
Are we going to see some changes on the offense and defensive lines? Seemed like Colorado State had things going up front.
No, I don't think you're going to see much change. We don't have we got 4 defensive linemen that play 3 spots, and they roll in. So, there's not a lot of change there. Offensive line, we got who we got. We haven't had great depth at either one of those spots since I've been here, and so maybe that's part of the issue is that there's not a great deal of competition. There's some guys that are coming along developmental. We've got a lot of guys with redshirting, a lot of young guys, but they're not in position to beat out the guys that are starting. So we just have to I got to do a better job of coaching. Our coaches got to do a better job of coaching, and those players got to do a better job of.
You mentioned the Cowboys need to be tackling better. How do you go out and address that?
You work on the fundamentals in practice. We're not going to go out and scrimmage live to make those changes. It's not all tackling. More so is getting lined up in the right spot. It wasn't like we missed a bunch of tackles. We had gaps that didn't have somebody to fill them, and they hit some big plays on us. And so assignment right there. We got to make sure that we're aligned properly. We had 51 mental errors defensively. It's unacceptable, and we'll get those things corrected.
San Jose is your next opponent, Coach. What can you tell me about San Jose?
They're an excellent football team. They're very good defensively. Watched them all day today. Offensively, Bales is obviously a very good player. Got a great surrounding cast. They're very athletic at the skill positions, and it'll be a great task for us on Saturday.
San Jose's quarterback David Bales is a good quarterback, Coach. What makes him so good?
Well, he's got a strong arm, a strong, accurate arm. He's smart and makes great decisions with the football. Doesn't force things and is very accurate.
Are there a lot of similarities between the two quarterbacks, David Bales and your quarterback, Brett Smith?
I don't know if there's a lot of similarities. Brett is a much more mobile quarterback. Bales is more a thrower. No, I don't think there's a lot of similarities in the two.
After the loss to Colorado State this past Saturday, do you think the Cowboys can rebound and get back on track?
Well, I hope so. Our focus right now is on Saturday at 4 o'clock West Coast time, and really that's the only thing that we can control is our preparation for that and being ready to play that game. It's the most important game. Beyond that, we're going to take it one week at a time, and that's where our entire focus is going to be.
That's our weekly visit with Wyoming football coach Dave Christensen.
A big thank you to Mark Ainsworth and to Coach Dave Christensen of the Wyoming Cowboys. Well, we're getting ready for the third quarter kickoff, and you're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ-FM 98.3. Watch it online at KADQradio.com.
For over 100 years, Union Telephone has been providing phone service to small communities, places the big guys simply ignored. We were helping our neighbors stay connected to the rest of the country. Times have changed and technology has evolved. Union has been there the entire way. Today, we still keep people connected in more ways and places than ever before. Union Wireless, treating you like a neighbor, not a number.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy Way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3, and you can watch online at KADQRadio.com. Right now, the Rebels dominating in that first half, and most of that coming on the ground. Actually, all of the Rebel offense on the ground. Jarman 0 for 2 through the air, but the Rebels with 290 rushing yards in that first half. And again, any stats I give you here in our halftime show, unofficial, but I know I'm real close on it. And the Rebels were led by Cash Savy, 8 carries, 136 yards, a couple of touchdowns. McKay Jarman not far behind, 129 yards on 14 carries, also a couple of touchdowns. Ben Grohl pitched in with 17 yards. Joseph Leifson just the 1 carry, had 8 yards rushing, and then Mitch Jarman, another 4 yards on the ground and a touchdown for the Rebels with almost 300 rushing yards in that first half. As for the Diamond Ranch Diamondbacks, they've tried to do a lot through the air, but Braden Burnside just 6 of 12, 37 yards, 2 interceptions, and on the ground, he's actually their leading rusher, 4 carries, 33 yards. Levi Dustin, who's got more carries, 7 carries, but just 24 yards. The Rebels have bottled him up. The one issue the Rebels are having is guarding Saxon Mingus, who has 4 carries or 4 receptions for 44 yards, but they can't get it to him consistently enough to make it to really hurt the Rebels. And the Diamondbacks have put together a couple of pretty good drives, but the Rebels have always, they got down into the Rebel red zone. Rebels got the interception. They were driving the ball. Rebels forced the fumble. And each time the Rebels are forcing these turnovers, they're taking advantage of those opportunities offensively to go back and get a score. Now, the Rebels, they've had the football 6 times in that first half, and they scored on 5 of those possessions. The one other time was they got a holding penalty, which marched them back and made it 20 yards to the first down, and they couldn't make up that they couldn't recover from that penalty. But other than that, the offense has worked exceptionally well for the Rebels. Blocking is looking good, and ultimately that comes down to the running game having almost 300 yards in that first half. Comes down to what the Rebel blockers are doing. They are controlling the line of scrimmage, and that's why the Rebels lead 34-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard as we head for the second half. And a kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. If you're watching online at KADQRadio.com, you can see Leifson and the Rebels lined up to kick from north to south. That's left to right on our from our perspective. Leifson gets off a nice kick on this one, and it sails right past River Aguirre, who lets it bounce a couple of times and into the end zone. So the Diamondbacks will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. This will be their 7th possession of the game. They had 6 possessions in that first half, and they went interception. They went 6 plays and a punt. They went 8 plays and an interception, 3 plays and a punt, 4 plays and a fumble, and then 2 plays and the end of the half. And here, as we start this third quarter action, Diamondbacks have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line, going right to left. That's south to north. Here's the snap. Burnside rolling out to his right. Now the quick shovel pass up the middle to Mingus, and he makes his way forward across the 25 to about the 27 or 28-yard line. As he was coming across the middle, we see a lot of NFL teams running that play, and it works well for the Diamondbacks there as Mingus picks up about 8 yards. And it'll be 2nd and short for the Diamondbacks.
Gain of about 8 on the play, 2nd and 8.
Mingus, without question, Burnside's favorite target. 8 yards there. It's 2nd and 2. Here's the snap. Give to Levi Dustin. Quick shift, and he's got a first down. Bounces outside with the shift across the 35 to the 40. Or no, the 36-yard line, rather. Saby and Argyle help in there on the tackle, or team up for the tackle, but Dustin picks up a first down on a gain of about 7 yards. Give him 8 on the play. And it's the Diamondbacks are on their own 36-yard line. First down And out here wide to this near side, trips to the far side. Here's the snap, give to Dustin going to that far side, wrapped up. He breaks one tackle, but then a bunch of Rebels come in and they'll bring him down, wrap him up, and not let him go any further. Isaac Hopkin comes up with the football, but I think they're going to say that Dustin was down. And Argyle was the one that initially wrapped up Dustin to slow him down enough to keep him from gaining much more. It's a gain of about 3. And we'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 for the Diamondbacks. Rebels leading 34-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 10 minutes, 24 seconds left in the third quarter. Diamondbacks with a 2nd and 7. Here's the snap, handoff coming to this side, and nowhere to go for Anthony Medina. Tried to break around that this near side containment, couldn't get around it, and Isaac Hopkin out there. McKay Jarman had made some initial contact. I'm going to say he only lost about a yard. So Medina loses a yard, or loses 4 rather. It was a 2nd and 7. He backs him up to the 35-yard line. And it's 3rd down and 11 for the Diamondbacks. Mingus, the middle receiver, and a trips to that far side. Burnside steps back, looking for Mingus over the middle. Breaks one tackle as pressure comes. Now he throws downfield on the run. It's caught by Mingus at the 35 to the 30, and it's a race down the sideline. Leifson is going to trip him up, but not quite bring him down, and Mingus will score a touchdown for the Diamondbacks. And that one goes 65 yards on what was almost more of a broken play. And the Diamondbacks are on the scoreboard. Rebels' lead is cut to 34-6 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 9:31 left on in the third quarter. And Mingus showing his speed racing down the sideline. It's a 65-yard touchdown. And Burnside showing some good ability to make something happen under pressure. He was rushed out of the pocket, broke a tackle, and then threw downfield on the run. He was running to his left and threw. Made a nice pass to Mingus, and now they'll line up to kick the extra point, and it's Julian Jamal who does the kicking. A nice straight kick. It's through the uprights, and it's good. And the Rebel lead is cut 34-7. Rebels with the lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 9:31 left. Third quarter. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with more on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3, and online you can watch at kadqradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Diamondbacks with their first score of the football game, and it comes on a big play. That was almost a broken play. Rebels just about had Burnside brought down in the backfield, but he breaks a tackle, runs away from the pressure, and throws to Mingus down this near sideline. The pass was about a 20-yard pass, and then Mingus just outran everybody for the 65-yard touchdown pass, or touchdown completion. And it's 34-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. That drive, 80 yards in 5 plays for the Diamondbacks. And Mingus will line up to kick this one off. Kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Leifson and Saby back deep. Saby about the 5, Leifson about at the 8-yard line to receive this kickoff. Here's the kick, and it's off Mingus's foot. Bounces once at the 25, and then makes its way out of bounds about the 22 on this near sideline. The flag flies. It's going to be an illegal procedure on the Diamondbacks, and will give the Rebels the football with good field position at their own 35-yard line. First down for the Rebels, 9:31 left in the third quarter. Rich leading 34-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And we saw them with a big lead against Altamont last week, and they just kind of came out flat offensively in the second half. The defense held, and Altamont only scored one time in that second half, but we'll see if the offense can come out with the same intensity and drive that they had in the first half of this game. Grohl in the backfield, split receivers out to each side. Leifson going in motion to the far side. Here's the snap, fake the handoff to Grohl. Now Jarman got some room to run. He breaks free at the 45 to the 50, and it's off to the races. Jarman is down the sideline, and he's got a blocker. Nobody's going to get close. Jarman is going to score. Looking back, and no flags, and Jarman goes 65 yards for the touchdown. Rebels match that 65-yard completion with a 65-yard touchdown run by McKay Jarman. Broke a couple of tackles, and he headed for the house. And McKay Jarman scores his third touchdown of the football game. And he's approaching, he might be over 200 yards rushing with that carry right there. Or real close to it, at least. And 9:20 left in this third quarter. Rebels' lead is now 40-7, and the Rebels going to line up to kick the extra point. McKay Jarman to hold for Joseph Leifson. The snap is way high. He stands up and throws to Argyle wide open in the end zone, but whistles blow it dead. They carried out the play, and boy, Argyle was all alone out there. It's an offside penalty. Unfortunately, ouch. An offside against the Diamondbacks, so it could work out for their favor that they get that penalty there. Argyle did catch it there in the end zone, but they'd blown it dead just before the snap. And you know that the Rebels can't run that same play because the Diamondbacks will be looking for it now. So the Rebels are just looks like they're going to just line up to go for two rather than line up for the one and run that fake. It's 40-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Rebels that 65-yard touchdown run by McKay Jarman. And they're going to line up for the two-point conversion with Grohl and Saby in the backfield. Leifson in the slot, the right side. Here's the snap. Jarman fakes the handoff to Grohl, takes it himself up the middle. He's into the end zone. The two-point conversion is good, and Jarman is having one heck of a game. He's completed a pass on the two-point conversion. Now he's running a two-point conversion himself. He's got 3 touchdown runs and close to 200 yards on the ground, and the Rebels lead 42-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. We got a kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff when we come back on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Find out how Chevy trucks stack up against all of the other major brand name trucks in their class. Confirm what you know or surprise yourself. Just log on to CastleRockChevy.com. Right now you can drive any new Chevy truck off the lot for just 1% over factory invoice OAC, and ask about other rebates and offers that apply.
We're Castle Rock.
Like us on Facebook, Castle Rock Chevy in Evanston, CastleRockChevy.com.
Rebels got it from their own 35-yard line on that last possession after the kick went out of bounds, and it took Jarman 11 seconds to fake the handoff, run out to the far side, break a couple tackles, and then sprint to the end zone and go 65 yards to the touchdown. Rebels lead 42-7. Here's a kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff, and a good one by Leifson, fill at about the 10-yard line. Going to the far side goes Aguirre. Now he cuts back around this side. A little bit of danger here as he breaks around the containment, breaks one tackle. Now he's back into the middle, and he'll be wrapped up and brought down, ran right into Jacob Terry. But a good return by Aguirre from about the 10 out to the 37-yard line. And the Diamondbacks will have some decent field position from their own 37. 9 minutes and 6 seconds left in the third quarter. And the Diamondbacks are going to try to repeat what they did on that last drive, a 65-yard touchdown pass from Burnside to Mingus. Mingus is the inside receiver on the far side with split receivers out to each side. Here's Burnside back, looking to throw, trying to get outside. Now he throws down the sideline. A flag flies. Mingus can't hold on to it, but he's out of bounds. And a flag down at the 30-yard line. Pass was incomplete.
Coy Brown defending. There's a flag on the play.
So it's a hold
Holding
against the Diamondbacks. That'll push them 10 yards back. And make it, if the Rebels accept, it would be a first down and 20. They'll replay the down. 10-yard penalty there against the Diamondbacks. That's their third penalty of the game. And they're 35 yards penalized. Actually, that's their fourth penalty. Rebels declined a penalty earlier on today. Mingus on the far side, stacked receivers on that far side, and a couple stacked on this near side. Football on the near side hash. Here's Burnside, steps back, looking to throw. Pressure comes. He's going to run away from the pressure. Some room to run. He's going to cake it himself. Dakota Clark is there, and he just stands Burnside up and just pushes him out of bounds. A pretty good gain for Burnside, though. He'll be back near the original line of scrimmage at the 37. So a gain of 10 for Burnside, who so far is the leading rusher for the Diamondbacks in this game. And he picked up close to 11 yards on the carry. The down marker just in front of that backside chain 10-yard marker. Mingus in on tight end. He's down with one receiver out to this near side. Here's the snap. And Burnside trying to get away from the pressure. Clark is there, and he's going to wrap him up and bring him down. The two Clarks is Dakota and Kyler combining for the sack. And it's going to be a loss of about 8, maybe 7. Back to the 30-yard line is where they'll mark it. So a loss of 7 will bring up a 3rd down and 17. Rebels running that looked like a little bit of a blitz, and Kyler Clark has really stepped into that linebacker position the last couple of weeks. Had a nice couple weeks here. Last week against Altamont, and here today has done a nice job against Diamond Ranch. 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Rebels lead 42-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Two receivers split out to each side as Dakota Clark showing blitz once again. It looks like he got a little too close. A flag flies as he went in there showing blitz, and it's going to be called offside against the Rebels. And Clark puts his hands out going, what? I wasn't even over the football yet. And he was right in front of the center. But the officials see it differently, and it's 5 yards, so it makes it a 3rd and 12 instead of a 3rd and 17. Out to the 35-yard line. Clark again showing the blitz, and now another Rebel jumps offside. 2 offside penalties in a row for the Rebels. And, oh no, we're going to have a penalty this time. It's an illegal procedure. A false start against the Diamondbacks. One of the Rebels did jump without a doubt. It was Jacob Terry, and he thought he was offside. As soon as he moved, he went down to a knee and just kind of hung his head a second there. But now it's 3rd and 17 because one of the Diamondbacks moved first. Here's Burnside back, looking to throw, rushed out of the pocket. He's going to try and run down this near sideline, close to a 1st down, out of bounds at about the 45. He's finally brought down. They're going to mark him out at the 46. He needed the 47 for a 1st down, so real close as Burnside picks up 16 yards. But looks like he'll be just a yard short of the 1st down at the 46-yard line. Again, he needed the 47. Rebels lead 42-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 6 minutes, 22 seconds left in this third quarter, and the Diamondbacks, I'd say they're in a position they need to go for it here, and they're going to, Coach Dias is of the same mentality. Two receivers split out to each side. Here's Burnside, the snap, give to Dustin. Breaks, bounces off one tackle, breaks a tackle by Jarman, and he's got the 1st down across the 50 and down to about the 47. Great 2nd and 3rd effort by Levi Dustin, and he picks up 6 yards on the carry. He needed just 1. And it's a 1st down for the Diamondbacks.
1st down at the 48-yard line.
At the Rebel 48 now. Diamondbacks move the chains and into Rebel territory. 5:46 left to go in this third quarter. Rebels leading 42-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Burnside directing some traffic now, backs up into the shotgun. Here's the snap. Steps back, looking to throw, throws, and overthrows his intended receiver. He's looking for Mingus out there on the far side, and Burnside overthrew Mingus, incomplete. Burnside now 8 of 15 for about 115 yards in the game with 2 interceptions. One by Isaac Hopkin, one by Coy Brown. A couple of turnovers brought to you by the station in Randolph today. And the Rebels have forced 3 turnovers, those 2 interceptions and a fumble. It's 2nd and 10 for the Diamondbacks at the Rebel 48-yard line. 3 receivers to the far side. Mingus is the middle receiver. And here's the snap. Quick throw out to that far side and trying to make some moves. Aguirre gets by a couple of tacklers, breaks Argyle's reach-out tackle inside the 40 and to about the 37. He's pretty close to a first down. Some good open field running there by Aguirre. Rebels had a couple of chances to get the tackle, even behind the line of scrimmage. But Aguirre, a real shifty runner when he has that football in the open field. I'll give him 9 yards on the completion. And it'll be 3rd down and short. 3rd down about 1.5 yards at the Rebel 39-yard line. 4:15 left third quarter. Rebels leading 42-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Burnside in the shotgun with the backs on each side. Give to Dustin up the middle, some room to run. Bounces outside to the 30, breaks a tackle at the 25, and then Saby brings him down. And Dustin, the big gain from the 39 all the way down to the 24-yard line, so a 15-yard gain for Dustin. And the Diamondbacks move the chains again. They're finding some room with Dustin running up the middle. When he gets a little bit of open field, he's real shifty and tough to bring down. And now a timeout. Diamondbacks, they were having a hard time getting that play in. They'll take a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well. Rebels leading 42-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 3:56 left in the third quarter. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3, and you can watch online at kadqradio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth and want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is oral surgeon A.J. Stosich, inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Rebels leading 42-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 3:56 left in the third quarter. 1st and 10 for the Diamondbacks at the Rebel 24-yard line. And Mingus has 6 receptions for more than 100 yards. He's actually close to 120 yards receiving in the game. Most of it came on that 65-yard touchdown on their last possession. And now as we get players back in to come out after this timeout, still a little bit of confusion here. Players kind of going in and out, and not sure what's going on here. Diamondbacks maybe having a little confusion. As players kind of coming in and out for them. Now they finally get the offensive line settled down. And Burnside lined up in the shotgun. And now we get the whistle. He's got backs to either side. Mingus in the slot on the far side. Burnside with Dakota Clark showing blitz. Now he backs off. Burnside fakes the throw. Pressure comes, and he's going to be brought down. Jarman comes storming up the middle. That was McKay Jarman. Comes up with the sack. He was rushing around that outside. I don't know if that was a late stunt, but he just came flying up the middle and brought Burnside down for a loss of 7.
Loss of 7 on the play. 2nd and 17.
They'll bring up a 2nd and 17 for the Diamondbacks. Backed him up to just outside the 30-yard line. Again, Burnside with backs on either side. Aguirre and Dustin, the other one on the right side. Here's the snap, give to Aguirre. Out to the right side, some room to run, and he's going to be wrapped up. Nice open field tackle by Mitch Jarman, and a flag flies in at the 30, and I think it's going to be a hold penalty out on the outside. when Aguirre bounced it out there. I think he was able to do that because offensive line was holding on the outside, and then looks like Dakota Clark out there was signaling to the coaches that, yeah, it's a hold. Should we decline it? Yes, they are going to decline it, and that'll bring up a third down. They picked up about a half a yard on the play thanks to Mitch Jarman's tackle out there. And it'll be a third down and 16 for the Diamondbacks. Trips to this near side in a bunch. One wide receiver out to the right side. Burnside back, looking to throw. Steps up away from the pressure. Now throws. Aguirre's got it at the 30. Bounces outside to the 25. One tackle and just tripped up and brought down by Wallenstein at about the 15-yard line. Real close to a first down. That's a gain of about 15 yards. And they may need to bring the chains out. Nope, they're going to say fourth down. So it's a gain of 15. And they've starting to find some success through the air here. They picked up 15 yards on that play, and now it's fourth and short, about a yard, a little bit more than a yard to go. Dustin to Burnside's right in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Burnside back, looking to throw. Pressure comes. He throws out into the flat and overthrows his intended receiver, Aguirre. And, wow, they're going to throw a flag on Cash Saby. That pass was uncatchable. There's no way Aguirre gets up to catch that pass, whether Saby's there or not. But they call a pass interference on the Rebels. And that's a little merry early Christmas gift for the Diamondbacks. It's a first down. And that should put them half the distance from the 15. They're going to be about the 7-yard line, just outside the 7. And Rebels lead 42-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. That's just their fourth penalty of the football game. A pass interference, though, could be costly here as it gives the Diamondbacks a first and goal inside the 10. Mingus, the middle receiver, in a bunch on the right side. Here's the snap and the give to Dustin up the middle. He's close to the end zone. He's wrapped up and drugged down just outside the goal line. We'll give him about 5 yards on the play, on the carry by Dustin. 1:45 left, third quarter. Rebels leading 42-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. This has been a long drive by the Diamondbacks, 13 plays. They started at their own 37-yard line, and they've eaten up almost 8 minutes off the clock. Second and goal here, about the 2-yard line of the Rebels. Burnside sends his 3 receivers to the far side out wide. They're almost kind of a 2 in a bunch and then 1 out split further. Here's the snap, give to Dustin up the middle, and breaking tackles, pushing forward. Then the Rebels wrap him up, and they gang up on him, push him back, and he's not going to get in. He's just short of the goal line. Rebel defense stands strong and push him back. We'll give Dustin a yard on the play. With under a minute to go in the third quarter, see if this Rebel defense can stand up. They're going to need to stand up at least 2 more times because guarantee that the Diamondbacks, this is 4-down territory here. They trail 42-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Field goals aren't going to help them much. They're inside the 1-yard line. Dustin to the right of Burnside in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Give to Dustin. Going to the left side. No room to run, and he'll be stuffed. Rebel defense got some good penetration. Isaac Hopkin and McKay Jarman bring him down. It's actually a loss of a couple of yards. Let's say a loss of 1, and it's 4th and goal at about the 2. For the Diamondbacks. Rebel defense, this would be a huge stop, but we're going to have to wait till the fourth quarter to see if they can make that stop. End of the third quarter action here. Rebels lead 42-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Fourth quarter action is coming up when we come back in just a minute on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3 and watch online at KADQradio.com.
Throughout our lives, there are times we may need skilled rehabilitation and nursing care or home health and hospice care. Rocky Mountain Care has been providing these services since 1990. Our skilled staff and specialized programs will meet your loved one's needs. Our staff is dedicated to a high-quality outcome for each of our patients and residents. When you or someone you love needs these professional services, think of Rocky Mountain Care. Simply the best care. www.rmcare.com.
For over 100 years, Union Telephone has been providing phone service to small communities, places the big guys simply ignored. We were helping our neighbors stay connected to the rest of the country. Times have changed and technology has evolved. Union has been there the entire way. Today, we still keep people connected in more ways and places than ever before. Union Wireless, treating you like a neighbor, not a number.
Rebels leading 42-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard as we head for the fourth quarter action. And here's a big fourth down for the Diamond Ranch Diamondbacks. They had a 1st and goal from the Rebel 7. They got inside the 1 on 1st down and then were pushed back on 2nd and 3rd down. And it's 4th and goal from the 2 here for the Diamondbacks. And we'll see if this Rebel defense can stand strong. Burnside with Dustin to his left. They've given to Dustin on the last 3 plays. Here's 4th down. The snap. Fake to Dustin. No, they give it to him. He finds a hole off the right side. Touchdown, Diamondbacks. Dustin got a big hole on that right side. And that drive, 16 plays and 63 yards. And it's a 2-yard touchdown run by Levi Dustin. Just the 2nd touchdown of the day for this Diamondback team. Rebels lead 42-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, and the Diamondbacks lined up to kick the extra point. Snap is good as Mingus holds it. Kick is up, and it is good. And the lead is cut 42-14. Rebels with the lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And the Diamondbacks have scored on each of their last 2 possessions. We'll see if the Rebels can answer when we come back. And with a Stacy's kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff in just 30 seconds on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
The way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Well, the Diamondbacks, 16 plays, 63-yard drive, takes up 9 minutes and 30 seconds of clock. So while the Diamondbacks, they capitalized and got the touchdown, they also ate up almost the entire 3rd quarter, which actually plays into to help the Rebels, who lead 42-14, and now the clock working against the Diamondbacks. And the Rebels with the big lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard as Mingus lines up to kick off. And this kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Sabian Leifson back deep to return a nice high kick there by Mingus, and the Rebels will let it bounce. It's into the end zone without a hop, and Mingus gets that kickoff for a touchback, so the Rebels start from their own 20-yard line with 11:52 left in the football game. And again, Rebels leading 42-14 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. The Diamondbacks' offense has come alive in this second half. That first half, they only had 57 yards on the ground, 37 yards in the air, while the Rebels were at almost 300 rushing yards. It's been a different story so far in this second half. Rebels, 1st and 10 from their own 20, going right to left from our view. Here's the snap. Jarman spins around, gives it to Leifson, up into the secondary, breaks a tackle. Somehow he bounces out of that group with Diamondbacks. He's got the first down across the 33 to about the 34-yard line. And Leifson, boy, I don't know how he came out of that little bunch, but he kind of just bounced off tacklers, and they lost him in there. And he picks up 14 and a first down. Joseph Leifson, just his second carry of the game, and he's got 22 yards on the ground. Bartlome out to the far side, Leifson in the slot, Sabian Grohl in the I formation behind Jarman. Jarman takes the snap, spins, gives to Sabi up the middle, breaks a tackle across the 45, across the 50 before he's wrapped up and brought down by Charles Chunung.
By number 54, Charles Chunung.
And the Rebels move the chains. A first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. And Sabi
First down at the 47.
with 18 yards on the carry. He's up above 150 yards rushing with that carry on just 9 carries. Sabi averaging probably 15 or 20 yards a carry the last few games. He's deep. He's the deep back in the I formation behind Grohl. Leifson in the slot. And Jarman takes the snap, give to Grohl right up the middle, and nowhere to go. Grohl wrapped up immediately. The ball comes out, but after the whistle blows. And they're going to say Grohl barely, not even got back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain for Ben Grohl, and it'll be second down and a long 10 for the Rebels, leading 42-14 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. But the Diamondbacks have come alive in this second half. Their last 2 drives have resulted in touchdowns. See if the Rebels can answer that last touchdown drive of the Diamondbacks with under 10 to go in the football game. I formation with Grohl and Sabi in the backfield. And Jarman takes the snap, spin, give to Sabi, and he'll be tripped up trying to break through that offensive line and picks up maybe a yard. And it'll be 3rd and 9 for the Rebels at the Diamondback 47-yard line. And the Rebels with the big lead, 42-14 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Rebels with just 9:20 left to go in this game. Final home game of the regular season. Rebels will host next weekend in the first round of the state playoffs. Here's Jarman with Grohl and Sabi behind him in the I formation. Take the snap, give to Leifson coming around this near side. Breaks around the corner, breaks a tackle down the sideline to the 40, 35, inside, back outside to the 30. Wrapped up and brought down by Aguirre about the 27-yard line. And Leifson showing that quick speed to get around the corner. There were 2 guys out there. One of them was blocked by Bartlome, I believe. The other one, Leifson just outran around the corner from the 47 down to the 20. Nope, they're going to say, the 27-yard line. So almost 20 yards on the carry by Leifson. And it's a first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. And the Rebels move the chains and keep that clock running. Good job by Leifson to stay in bounds. 42-14, Rebels with the lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 8.5 left to go in the game. Grohl and Sabi in the I formation. Grohl has a quick word with McKay Jarman and then lines back up. As Jarman taking his time, eating up all that time on the play clock. Here's the snap, give to Grohl up the middle. Breaks a tackle to the 25, spins, and then tripped up and brought down at about the 19. They may mark it right about the 20. Good, strong run by Ben Grohl there. And that's a gain of 7. Makes 7 yards out of, he broke that initial tackle. It would have been a loss. But he picks up 7, and it's a 2nd and short for the Rebels, and that's one of the keys to their running offense today. They've had 2nd and short all day long, and that certainly has helped them out today. Vance Weston out wide to this near side. Skylar Argyle wide to the far side. Grohl and Sabi in the backfield, and Jarman just telling his team, hang on, guys, let's run down some more of that clock before we get down into our stance. Now that the back line judge starts to count down from 5, and Jarman gets down. They take the snap, give to Ben Grohl up the middle, and nowhere to go. Wrapped up immediately and brought down by big number 72, Mick Hardy.
Mick Hardy makes the stop.
So Grohl picks up maybe 1 yard, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2. Rebels leading 42-14 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with under 7 minutes to go. And regardless of whether this score ends in a drive, it's been successful because they've run 5 minutes off the clock already. And they have a 2nd or a 3rd down and short now. Leifson alone in the backfield, and 2 receivers out wide to each side. Well, that's Grohl in the backfield. He'll get the pitch, cuts it back up inside, breaks a tackle, got the first down inside the 15, breaks another at the 5, driving forward down inside the 2, and Ben Grohl with a big run moves the chains from the 19 all the way down to about the 2-yard line. Would be 17 yards on the carry for Ben Grohl. And a first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. And the Rebels move the chains, keep the clock running, and now they're right on the doorstep of extending their lead. Rebels lead 42-14 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 6 minutes left to go. Argyle out wide to this near side. Jarman up under center with Grohl behind him in the backfield. And again, good senior leadership there by McKay Jarman, just letting every last second run off the clock. They don't even get down in their stance on the offense until that back judge starts to count off the last few seconds. Here's the snap, give to Grohl up the middle, little bit of a hole, and he just pushes forward into the end zone. Ben Grohl in there for a 2-yard touchdown run, and the Rebels push their lead up to 48-14 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. There is a flag on the play, though. I'm pretty sure it was after the touchdown. We'll have to see what the call is as the Rebels bring out the extra point kicking team. It is a personal foul against the Diamondbacks, and that'll be assessed on the kickoff. So the Rebels will kick from midfield on our kickoff in just a moment, brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. In the meantime, our extra point attempt, McKay Jarman will hold, and Joseph Leifson will do the kicking. Oh, did they say a personal foul against the Rebels as well? Leifson lined up the kick. We'll have to sort things out after this extra point. The snap is good, the hold good, but Leifson shanks it a bit off to the left, and the kick is no good, but a flag flies in, and we're going to have a roughing the kicker. Diamondbacks showing some frustration with personal foul on that after the touchdown, and now it looks like maybe a personal foul after that extra point attempt. We'll see how that all plays out when we come back. Rebels leading 48-14 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And a kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff coming up right after this on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3 and watch online at kadqradio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth and want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is oral surgeon A.J. Stosich, inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
So here's the call on those last few plays. After the touchdown, there was a personal foul against the Diamondbacks. So they march out 15 yards. Then it's a personal foul of roughing the kicker. So they march off another 15 yards. And now that they must have marked off, oh my goodness. The ref's already at the 25-yard line, and then he signaled another personal foul roughing the kicker. If there are 2 personal foul penalties, it should put it Rebels kicking off at the Diamondback 30. And I think one of the other officials came in and had a quick discussion, and I think that's what they've settled on now, that it's going to be 2 personal fouls, both of them against the Diamondbacks, both of them assessed on the kickoff. So Joseph Leifson will be kicking off from the Diamondback 30-yard line. And it's too bad he can't just kick it through the uprights and get 3 more points for the Rebels here. Leifson, let's see what he does. He's going to just boot this one, try to get it on top of the school, and almost makes it there. He kicks it through the uprights, and both Diamondbacks and Rebels alike put their arms in the air for the signal that it's good. It'll be a touchback unfortunately, it doesn't count for anything as far as points, but it is a touchback, and the Diamondbacks will have it from their own 20-yard line. Leifson just boots it through. The Rebels lead 48-14 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And one thing significant about that last drive, they not only got the touchdown and the 6 more points to extend the lead, they also ate up 6 minutes and 12 seconds of time on the clock. And just about sealed this one. Rebels leading 48-14 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, and the Diamondbacks would need about 5 more touchdowns like that 65-yard completion they had to Mingus earlier in the third quarter. Here's the snap. Burnside in the shotgun, hands off, and the run by Medina. He's going to shift around, pick up a few out to about the 25, and it'll be a 5-yard gain for Medina. Jacob Terry in on the tackle, and McKay Jarman as well. And it's a 2nd down and 5 now for the Diamondbacks, with the Rebels leading 48-14 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Rebels with the big lead. Mingus, I don't see him in there. Here's the snap, and Burnside hands off up the middle to give to Medina. Nowhere to go. And it looks like the Diamondbacks are going to pick up about a yard. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 4. And they've got some substitutes in there. Rebels going to bring Jarman and Argyle out, send in some substitutes as well. Some JV players and some number 2s. Vivier out near to this near side. Burnside. Nope, that's not Burnside, is it? Here's the snap. Back to throw, it is Burnside. He throws, and now Mingus back in there. He makes the catch at the 35, up the sideline to about the 37. 1st down and quite a bit more. It's a gain of about 12 for Mingus, who now has 7 receptions for about 135 or 140 yards. And Diamondbacks still fighting in this one. Gets out of bounds, but the clock runs. It's 4 minutes, under 4 minutes to go now. Rebels leading 48-14 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 2 receivers out to the far side. Mingus in the tight end here on this near side. He's going to stay in and block. Here's the snap. Give to Medina. A late give to him, and he finds some initial running room, and then he'll be met by Clark and Leifson. A flag flies in as Medina goes down about the 46-yard line of the Diamondbacks. They're going to stop the clock right there for this penalty. And it's a personal foul. Helmet-to-helmet contact against the Rebels. So that'll, in addition to the 7-yard gain by Medina, that's going to march off 15 more yards, and the Diamondbacks are in Rebel territory at the 39-yard line. 3 minutes, 40 seconds left to go in the football game, and the Rebels with the big lead, 48-14. It's a 34-point lead. So with touchdowns and extra points, that's 5 touchdowns that the Diamondbacks would need. I think they're just kind of playing for pride here right now as they line up with 2 receivers out of this near side. Mingus the slot. Burnside back, looking to throw, and he overthrows his intended receiver, who I believe was Jake Dosen, number 8, out there. And Dosen, had he made the catch, it would have been real close to a 1st down. As it is, it falls incomplete and stops the clock. Again, Rebel lead is 48-14 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Rebels will host in the 1st round of the playoffs next Friday or Saturday. And it could be Diamond Ranch that comes up with the trip again. Diamond Ranch with 1 loss in the South region. Monticello with 1 loss in the South region. And Kanab has yet to lose, but Kanab plays Monticello tonight. Here's the snap, give to Medina, coming to this near side. Breaks a couple of tackles, then trying to spin, and the Rebels will wrap him up and bring him down. And a nice job by the Rebels in there to come up with the tackle is Riker Rex. Tanner Peterson also in there on the tackle. And Medina picks up a few. We're going to give him about 5 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. As I mentioned, as I was saying, the Monticello Buckaroos playing against the Kanab Cowboys tonight. And the winner of that will directly determine who the Rebels will host next Friday or Saturday here at Rich High School in the 1st round of the playoffs. Here's Burnside in the shotgun. Back looking to throw, rolling out to the right side. He's still looking to throw. Now he makes a move and heads upfield to the 30, the 20, to the 15, to the 10, spins to the 5, and then down about the 4-yard line. A big run there for Burnside, and that's about a 30-yard run, and he has been their most effective runner here today. And he's well over 60, maybe 75 yards rushing. He was their leading rusher at the half, and he's been their leading rusher here in the second half, especially with that 30-yard run. From a coaching standpoint, Coach Diaz has to love the way he kept his eyes downfield, even till that last second. Couldn't find anything open, and then went to run. It's a first down and goal for the Diamondbacks with under 2 minutes to go. Rebels leading 48-14 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Burnside in the shotgun takes the snap, rolling to his left. Now the shovel pass for Dustin upfield, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown Diamondbacks, and that'll make it 48-20 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Burnside, his second touchdown of the football game, second passing touchdown. And this one completed to Levi Dustin, his first reception of the ball game. And with 1 minute and 33 seconds left to go, the Diamondbacks will line up to kick the extra point. Mingus will hold. And the snap right on target. The kick is up, and it is good. So the Diamondbacks answer again, and in their third possession of this second half, they've scored on all 3 possessions they've had the football in this second half, but it's too little too late. With 1 minute 33 left to go, the Rebels will get it back. We might see an onside kick when we come back on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com.
Throughout our lives, there are times we may need skilled rehabilitation and nursing care or home health and hospice care. Rocky Mountain Care has been providing these services since 1990. Our skilled staff and specialized programs will meet your loved one's needs. Our staff is dedicated to a high-quality outcome for each of our patients and residents. When you or someone you love needs these professional services, think of Rocky Mountain Care. Simply the best care. www.rmcare.com.
Well, the Diamondbacks started from their own 29 plays, 80 yards, and now they're lined up looking like they're going to go for the onside kick here. With 1 minute 33 left to go, Rebels lead 48-21 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. But the Diamondbacks, well, they're not giving up. Mingus lined up to kick this one away. And he's got about 8 of his players here on this near side lined up to try to get this onside kick attempt. The kick gets a good bounce. Rebels bobble it, and it's on the ground. We got a scrum, a pile up, but this near side line judge says it's Rebel football. And who fell on it?
Covered there by Rames Cornea.
Rames Cornea comes up with it as it was kind of being bumped around. Cornea just fell right on top of it and held tight, and the Rebels, that's going to ice it right there. They're just going to have to come out and take a knee a time or two as they lead 48-21 with 1 minute 31 left on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. A 1st and 10, Rebels from their own 47-yard line. I don't imagine we'll see much attempt at an offense here. Clock continues to run, and the Rebels will come out and maybe just have to take a knee 1 or 2 times. Coy Brown with 3 in the backfield. Mitch Jarman, Rex Riker, and who's that third back behind Brown? No, Kyler Clark, thank you. And Brown just waiting again, looking at that back line judge in front of him, and waits till he starts to count down, and then goes down, takes the snap, takes a knee, and with 52 seconds left to go, I think the Rebels will have to take a knee one more time and earn this victory. Now, as I was talking, the Monticello Buckaroos and the Kanab Cowboys playing tonight at Kanab. Kanab looking for that win. If they do win, then then Monticello would have 2 losses in the region, and I believe they would be the ones to come up and play next week here at Rich High School. Of the 3 teams, Monticello, Kanab, and Diamond Ranch, Kanab by far was the toughest team for the Rebels. The Rebels comeback victory to beat Monticello a couple of weeks ago here at Rich High School in homecoming. Coy Brown takes a knee one more time. We're down to 10 seconds left, and the Rebels are going to get the win 48-21, a final score on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Rebels with the big victory. And we got our post-game show coming up. We've also got Rich Rebel volleyball coming up, so stay tuned. That's the end of the football game, and the Rebels get the win 48-21 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3. Stay tuned. We'll have Coach Ashley Brown when we come back on 98.3 FM and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth or want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is endodontist Les Walker inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Throughout our lives, there are times we may need skilled rehabilitation and nursing care or home health and hospice care. Rocky Mountain Care has been providing these services since 1990. Our skilled staff and specialized programs will meet your loved one's needs. Our staff is dedicated to a high-quality outcome for each of our patients and residents. When you or someone you love needs these professional services, think of Rocky Mountain Care. Simply the best care. www.rmcare.com.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com. The Rich Rebels, a big victory, 48-12 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard over the Diamond Ranch Diamondbacks. And the Rebels were led today by Mitch Jarman, 15 carries, close to 200 yards. I've got him at 194 and 3 touchdowns. Cash Saby pitched in with 10 carries, 155 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Ben Grohl had 10 carries for close to 50 yards and a touchdown. Mitch Jarman scored as well for the Rebels on a day when the Rebel rushing offense just couldn't be stopped. They scored. They had the possession of the football 6 times in the first half, 3 times in the second half. And if you discount the time, that last possession they had where they took a knee 2 times, so we'll take that one away. They had the ball 8 times, or 8 possessions in the football game, and they scored 7 touchdowns. The one other time they were forced to punt, there was a low snap. They turned it over on downs, but Rebels offense working here this afternoon at Rich High School, scoring essentially on 7 of 8 possessions here in the game and getting the victory again, 48-12 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Well, stay tuned. We'll recap that game. We'll give you a little bit more on stats, and we'll have Coach Ashley Brown coming up for our post-game interview when we come back on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
For over 100 years, Union Telephone has been providing phone service to small communities, places the big guys simply ignored. We were helping our neighbors stay connected to the rest of the country. Times have changed and technology has evolved. Union has been there the entire way. Today, we still keep people connected in more ways and places than ever before. Union Wireless, treating you like a neighbor, not a number.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com. And joining us now for our post-game interview is Coach Ashley Brown of the Rich Rebels. And, Coach, got to feel good about a win like that.
Yeah, that was great. Great way to end our regular season, and great way to go into the playoffs.
You feel like the seniors came out real fired up today, kind of celebrating senior night?
Yeah, it's always a big night for them, Luckily, they get to play next week on this field, but for some seniors, it's the last time they get to play on that field, and so it's a big thing, and our seniors did a great job.
Your offense, I was looking at your offensive possessions, and not counting that last one where you took a knee 2 times to just kind of run out the clock and end the game. You scored on 7 of 8 possessions in the game today. That's just offensive dominance.
Yeah, option worked really well today, and McKay did a great job of reading it, and that is a great job of scoring almost every possession.
And that's what I thought. I think I mentioned that a few times during the game, is he was making that read to not give it to Grohl, keep it himself, and get it out the outside, and then it was either pitch it or hold on to it, and he was.
Yeah, their end was defending the fullback, so it made it hard for Ben, but McKay would just read it, and then we'd get outside, and then we had the option of pitching it or McKay running it.
There were a couple of pitches there where I thought Coach Brown must be cringing because Jarman, one right here, he was wrapped up and he just kind of flings it out there to Savy, who goes for the touchdown. But what are your thoughts on a play like that?
McKay can make plays like that. That's why he's there. And so, we give him lots of leniency there, and he does a great job with it.
And how about your defense today? In the first half especially, any time that Diamond Ranch started to make any kind of a threat, they came up with a turnover.
Yeah, our defense played great again, and it has for most of the year. We did a great job of stopping them. They got going a little bit in the second half, but we did a great job for the most part of controlling the game with our defense.
I was impressed the way that you matched up. If we look at it honestly, they probably, a couple of those guys are better athletes than what you have, I think. Would you agree?
I'd agree, yeah. They have some very good athletes, and their quarterback's a good athlete, their running back's a good athlete, and definitely number one. But our kids just battle, and that's what we expect out of them, and that's what they expect out of each other.
Your team plays together well. Defensively, it seems like everybody's doing their assignment. They know where they need to be, and they get the job done real well.
Yeah, Coach Kennedy does a great job of preaching. You do your assignment and trust your teammates to do theirs, and that's what they've done all year, and that's why they've been so successful.
So looking ahead to next week, and here's the standings for the 1A South. Kanab's in first. They're at 3-0. Diamond Ranch is at 3-1, and Monticello's at 2-1, with Kanab and Monticello playing tonight. And you guys, you dominated at Kanab. You dominated Diamond Ranch here. You squeaked out the victory over Monticello. Do you hope that Monticello comes up with the victory at Kanab tonight, or do you just wait and see and then prepare for that team?
That's what we're going to do. We're just going to wait and see, and whoever we get, we know we got to win 3 more games if we want to be state champs, and that's our goal. And so we'll just wait and see what happens tonight, and we'll prepare after we know who we get.
Just excited to have that game here at home,
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah, that's what the regular season is for, to earn yourself the right to play at home in the first round, and we've done that, and so we'll just see who we get.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win here tonight, and a great season. It sure has been fun. I'm glad there's at least, I hope, I don't want to curse, so knock on wood and whatever I need to do, I hope there's a few more games to go.
We do too, and we appreciate you covering us.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
This has been our interview with Coach Ashley Brown here on the post-game show, and Ryan Steinekert here on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ-FM 98.3. Stay tuned. We'll recap a little bit more in this post-game show from my producers back at the studio. We're going to play 2 more ads from here, and then I'll talk a little bit more about that, about the game. Then we'll go back to you for the Rebel Sports Update and the look ahead and the rest of our post-game show. So keep it tuned right here. We've got Rebel Volleyball coming up before too long. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with some more stats and highlights of the game here tonight on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ-FM 98.3 and watch online at kadqradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Buy
Find out how Chevy trucks stack up against all of the other major brand name trucks in their class. Confirm what you know or surprise yourself. Just log on to CastleRockChevy.com. Right now you can drive any new Chevy truck off the lot for just 1% over factory invoice OAC, and ask about other rebates and offers that apply.
We're Castle Rock.
Like us on Facebook, Castle Rock Chevy in Evanston, CastleRockChevy.com.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3. And again, watch online at KADQRadio.com. Rebel volleyball coming up shortly. The Rebels hosting North Summit, and the first serve of the varsity match is scheduled for about 40 minutes from now. So we're going to continue on with our post-game here, the football game, and we'll get to that volleyball match in just a few minutes. So I want to recap that football game. Again, the Rebels dominant offensively. They scored essentially on 7 of 8 possessions, if you don't count that final possession where they just took a knee. And the Rebel offense was working well. McKay Jarman had close to 200 rushing yards with 3 touchdowns today. Cash Saby of more than 15 yards per carry today with 155 rushing yards on 10 carries, 2 touchdowns for him as well. Ben Grohl kind of bottled up. They were really playing to slow him down up the middle, and McKay Jarman making the good read, as Coach Ashley Brown mentioned. But Grohl did have 10 carries for 44 yards, also a touchdown. Joseph Lason, 3 carries, 41 yards. And Mitch Jarman, a rushing touchdown, a 4-yard rushing touchdown as well. So he got in on the scoring act as well. And it's the Rebels' running game that really powers this offense. And then the defense. What a job by the defense here this afternoon. They just absolutely shut down Diamond Ranch in that first half. Diamond Ranch came alive a bit in the second half, but it was far too little and far too late for the Diamondbacks. And the Rebels win 48-21 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Well, stay tuned. We got more of our post-game show coming up here. The Rebel post-game show will include a Rebel sports update. We'll talk with Coach Louis Stewart of the Rebel cross-country team, and we'll also have a look ahead at what's coming up in Rebel sports, both this weekend for the high school and looking up ahead to next weekend for the high school and for the Rich Middle School. So stay tuned for more of our post-game show on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3, and watch the game online at KADQRadio.com.